It's week 10 time. Josh Allen, will he play week 10? We don't know. We've got some speculation to do. Will JT play week 10? JT's back at practice, looking good. JT looking good in some footage I saw. He didn't participate in the full practice, but he is back. He looks on track to play, and I'm excited about that, and as should you. You should be excited. Cooper in the building. Fantasy Realist first in the building. Swaggy, what's going on, everybody? The Fantasy Football Show, it begins now.
You are about to enter the Fantasy Football Show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You are about to enter the Fantasy Football Show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. You are about to enter the Fantasy Football Show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. You are about to enter the Fantasy Football Show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is going on, good people? Thank you for joining me. I'm Smitty. This is the Fantasy Football Show. I'm live Monday through Friday, every single Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes we go 2 hours, sometimes we go 3. We've gone 5 hours before here on the Fantasy Football Show on the Monday through Friday show. And I'm live whenever news breaks. Whenever major news breaks, I'm pretty much live. I walk into my studio, I fire it up, I tell the Zigmeister to turn on the lights, and he listens to me half the time. That's my Jarvis, if you don't know. And then I'm live Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at midnight, around midnight Eastern. And then I'm live Sunday in the mornings and the evenings. Let's get into the news.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
We have quite a bit of news today, and then we're going to jump right into the Super Chats. Answered in order in which they are received, and of course, anybody that drops a $20 hauler, I handle that bad boy right away. JT practiced today and looked actually pretty good. Yeah, buddies. And then Josh Allen, there's mixed reports. I told everybody stop listening to all these like speculative reports out there that we're saying he's going to be out 4 months, things like that. We got to wait and see. They're going to try everything they can to get him on the field this week. Could he sit a week? He potentially could. But definitely got to make sure you don't knee-jerk react. Definitely got to make sure you don't just like send this guy packing because you're afraid and you hear these certain reports. But Josh Allen did not practice today. Probably won't practice all this week. He'll probably take it easy. That doesn't mean he won't play. If he doesn't practice tomorrow, it doesn't mean he won't play week 10. And even if he doesn't practice Friday, it doesn't really mean he won't play week 10. I'm sure they want him to do some walkthroughs. I'm sure we'll get some kind of indication based on his performance or practice participation on Friday, whether he's going to be good to go. But it won't. There'll be some like caveats, like, hey, he did this or he didn't do this, but he's still expected to play. So we've got to be very, very vigilant and try and scoop up this guy, Josh Allen. Smitty was the only one that was not overreacting to Josh Allen news. I don't even know if that's the case. I'm not trying to sit here and say that, but if you guys would know more than me, I'm too busy to watch anybody else's show. I could care less about what anybody else is going on because we got big things. We got big things to do, and if I'm not doing shows, I'm Netflixing maybe. Maybe we need a Netflix sponsor. I need Netflix to call me. Netflix, dial me up. I could sponsor the hell out of you on the show here. So Josh Allen, don't panic. Don't listen to these speculative videos out there that everybody's trying to diagnose everything. Look, I'm all you need. I'm all you need. I got the models. I've been diagnosing and talking about injuries for 20 straight years professionally. Not as my side gig or my side hustle. Your boy Smitty's done this professionally. And so I may not be a doctor, but I've been looking at this stuff and I can tell you right now, nobody knows what Josh Allen's going to do or if he's going to play or how long he could be out. This is not something that you can sometimes you can tell things, definitive things. You tear your ACL, you know what you're looking at. This type of thing, look at Stafford. Look at Josh Allen. In the past, it took him out a month. They don't know that that's going to be the case. There's stem cell. There's all kinds of things they're doing. They're trying to get him capable and ready to suit up for week 10, being speculative on this injury and trying to measure how bad this is or that part of it is. There's so many unknowns. No one's telling us the truth. And so if you go overreact and sell Josh Allen and he only misses 1 week or doesn't miss any time at all, you're going to be pretty mad at yourself. Okay? As for JT, fire JT. As far as I'm concerned, you fire JT up. And maybe buy low seasons back on for JT. Why are you guys still trading for JT? Prime, because the dude is ready to rumble, it sounds like. I mean, maybe he's not. We can't put the cart before the horse. He looked good though. There's footage of him running through some of those tackle dummy things. Like he looked good. We'll see. Don't get your hopes too high about JT, but it feels pretty good right now. We're here on a Wednesday. We're having a day on a Wednesday, and this guy JT's out there practicing. He's not limited on Wednesday, Thursday, and then potentially practice Friday. If he has a setback, he'll probably not play week 10, right? Anybody that has a setback when they're questionable is not going to be playing that week. But when you're out there on Wednesday doing some work, that to me, through my experience, tells me there's a very nice likelihood things are going to get better walking into Sunday. Highly doubt he's out there doing these drills unless he went out there, did them, and then tweaked something, and then we'll find out about that later. That is one thing to keep in mind. But we're looking like JT season might be back on. And those of you that didn't sell low, dirt cheap, like it was okay to sell him for a CeeDee Lamb if you had to go that route. You couldn't take any more L's. Everything was case by case dependent. But the major gist of JT and Swift has been, if you can't go get something absolutely amazing, don't give them away for trash. Don't give them away for a Foreman. Deonta Foreman, look what happened to Deonta Foreman. The guy deflated right in front of our very eyes the week after he exploded, and everybody thought he was amazing. So, you might have been pushed to the limit of trading JT for a Cordero Patterson. Can't blame you. You might have been pushed into trading JT or Swift into a CeeDee Lamb. Can't blame you. But if you went out there and you traded one of these guys away for dog water, a ham sandwich, that's on you, because your boy Smitty didn't tell you to do that. But if you did, I'm here for you still, and we can try and clean up the mess you made on aisle 5. So JT season might be back on.
To the moon.
Wrong button. Okay, so that's that. That's all I got to say about that. In the chat, I've got a lot of chatter about JT, good. Everybody's excited. We got Josh McAllister, 2 months on the YouTube exclusive membership. I've got super chats rolling in. Dr. Smitty to the moon. Best fake doctor on the internet, okay? Best deep fake doctor on the internet. I'm not a doctor. I've got a psych degree. I've got another degree in journalism from Cronkite, ASU, go Devils. But I don't have a medical degree. I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to be. We joke around about how I'm the best non-doctor fantasy football person on the internet. That's fine. I like that. But I'm not a doctor. But what I do have are a particular set of skills that make me dangerous for your league opponents, because I've seen every injury in the book. A lot of them I've had. I've had all these little knee injuries we're talking about. Patellar tendon, ACL. I'm not proud of it. I don't wear it on as a badge of honor, but I know what they're like when they apply to a player coming back from these injuries at different positions, and I can tell you the best prognosis you can get. Okay, so let's get back to all this here. Pittman buy low. We'll see. Pittman buy low potentially. We've got some news chatter, some breaking news chatter constantly coming on. Hang tight. We'll break some of this stuff as it comes in. I want to get to this real quick. So Josh Allen, this was from Adam Schefter, nursing an injury, his UCL and related nerves, officially did not practice, not unexpected. This was the news Ian Rappaport broke about JT return to practice today, and then they showed a little clip of him running through some tackle dummy machine things, and he looked like he was powering through it. It looked like he was taking names and numbers, saying, you, I'm running through this bad boy. His legs look good, his ankles look good, his explosion looked good. I was pretty excited. Okay. Yep, psychology, baby. Psychology. Thank you, M&T. Appreciate you. Rams QB Matthew Stafford is in the NFL concussion protocol. So we got to keep an eye on this. This is bad for Cooper Kupp if he doesn't play. We'll see what happens here. And if you're starting him because of some bye weeks, you got Burrow on a bye, you got Lamar on a bye, you got to really, try and figure out what you're going to do at quarterback. Start thinking ahead now. Don't wait until Friday or Saturday when all the quarterbacks get scooped up. Danny Dimes isn't too bad. Okay, Houston, let's go. Danny Dimes maybe to the moon. Potentially, if you're in a bind. There's some other quarterbacks that you could go grab. Should I trade Mixon and Deontay Johnson for ETN and Higgins? Mixon and Deontay Johnson for ETN and Higgins. I would take ETN and Higgins if it was me, Wentworth, because there's definitely some upside on that I like a little bit better. I know everyone thinks Mixon's top 5, but just wait for him to do what Josh Jacobs did. Go out and have a bad game after an explosion game, and then people start realizing he's going to fall back down a little bit. Aaron Jones for Debo. Chris, why would you need help with that? Aaron Jones is injured, bro. He may play. He's going to try and play, may not play. We don't know. He's injured. The team looks like garbage. Debo's got more trade value, and his bye week's out of the way. Let's go. I'm all about sending Debo packing, and I'm all about potentially making sure, you don't sleep on the idea of trading him before CMC comes back and takes some of it, or before Debo comes back and you realize CMC's taken some of his rushing attempts, and that can make Debo inconsistent. But this is an easy trade for me. And if you could trade and flip Debo, even better, bro. But you got to accept this trade. Keep an eye on Matthew Stafford, that news. This one I don't like to see. Let's keep an eye on this one. Dameon Pierce, chest, shoulder, was limited during Wednesday's practice. I don't think it's a big deal. Everything, all my feelers that I have out there for all these teams, you guys got to understand, I got DMs for days where it's like one thing happens in Houston, I got DMs there. And everything I'm hearing is no one's worried. No one's worried. But we got to keep an eye on it because setbacks happen. Things get worse. Small tweaks turn into big injuries. It happens all the time. What I'm hearing currently, no one's worried, but let's keep an eye on it, okay? And then right here, the supplies to that question we were just talking about. Debo Samuel, hamstring, full participant in practice. Get Debo fired up. Maybe pack his bags just in case you can deal him. At least the ligament damage, no ligament damage like Brees and Javonte. Bro, I can't take another one. I can't take another ACL tear to any of our guys. I just can't do it. Our Moon Men still look phenomenal, but
The Moon Men dropping loads in outer space.
we just can't have it. We just can't have any more injuries.
Space Monsters.
Space monsters indeed. Space monsters indeed. Let's see here. What else we got? I think that's it for the news. We're going to go to a couple voicemails. Let's hit the one from Nev.
Hey, Smitty got offered Ezekiel Elliott for a second-round pick, but I countered with Chase Claypool and a third-rounder for Ezekiel Elliott. What do we think about this?
I mean, rookie third-round picks don't really excite me too much. Claypool doesn't really excite me too much. I guess give me the second-round pick if you can turn the second into a first somehow by adding other things into it. Maybe the second's okay and decent, decent value. Would I rather you go get a Pittman or a Gabe Davis? Would I rather you use your second-rounder and Zeke Elliott to go do that? Yeah, I'd go buy low on those guys before I'm worrying too much about that. Is Herbert droppable? What Herbert? Because some of you are running your mouth about dropping Justin Herbert, and it's driving me. It's like nails against a chalkboard. If you're talking about Khalil Herbert, it depends on your situation. It does. There's not a lot that you can, there's not a lot that I can diagnose from the jump here without having any details. And I'm not asking for details because I probably won't see it because I barely see a lot of the questions. I do my best, but I can give you general advice. There's a better pickup out there. Jeff Wilson, do it. If you're going to drop him for Odell Beckham Jr., I'd keep Khalil Herbert, okay? Odell's not doing it for me. This one's from the Bruce. That one's not playing. Kyle.
Hey, Smitty, what would you trade Swift for if you did trade him?
Swift would have to be like a CeeDee Lamb type wide receiver. At running back, Cordell Patterson would be tempting. Guys around that territory, going and getting a huge quarterback upgrade to where you're struggling at quarterback. You're dropping like nothing burgers on the field and on the weekly, and you can go get a Hurts or a player like that. Trading him for Andrew straight across is something that I'm very interested. Nate with the 20. Nate with the 20 burger right on screen, right in front of my face. Nate dropping 20 wads right on the screen. Somehow 3-6 with the second most points. It happens every year, bro. It's crazy, but it happens. But luckily, only one game back from a playoff spot, attaboy. Make a trade or hold tight. Hurts, A.J. Brown, Adams, DJ Moore, Tony, CMC, Sanders. Okay. I like what you're throwing down here. There's some potential here. A.J. Brown, Adams, and DJ Moore are very good wide receivers. Hurts is an excellent quarterback. CMC, Sanders. I honestly feel like there's not a lot for you to do here. Sanders, you're going to have to bank on being good all year long and continuing, because I don't really want you trading Hurts, A.J. Brown, Adams, or CMC. And therefore, DJ Moore and Sanders for one better player, and then you go rogue at the other position that you leave hanging. meaning if you trade DJ Moore and Sanders for a wide receiver, then you're going to leave your running back 2 kind of hanging with Singletary and Jamal and B-Rob, which honestly doesn't scare me that much if you're getting a big dog wide receiver to pair with your duo in A.J. Brown and Adams. Don't be scared to go rogue. Don't be scared to be a little ballsy when it comes to your lineup if you're scoring more points. So if you get DJ Moore and Sanders and turn them into another Devontae Adams type, and maybe you get like a, I don't even know what you could get at that point like that would be worth it, because you got to make sure it's above DJ Moore. You got to make sure it's well above Sanders. You're talking about like a Waddle, maybe Jamar Chase, but at 3 and 6 you can't do that one. Well, maybe you can't. I mean, it's tough to say. Like, you know, you're going to win on out potentially if you get a guy like that on your roster. If you go RB, you could go after a Kenneth Walker, an ETN. You can laugh at me all you want and say no one's giving up an ETN or Kenneth Walker for Sanders and DJ Moore. But because I see it every single day, multiple times, every couple hours, I'm not going to listen to you in the chat, Bob. The complaining Caleb or the negative Nathan that says, Smitty, you can't, LOL, 3 smiling, crying emojis in a row. No one's giving up. I play in baller leagues. Nobody makes mistakes in my league. I've never accepted a bad trade in my life. I've never hit the button and regretted it and cried in an elevator holding myself in disgust and shame, making a trade that I regret the moment that I accept it. I've never done that. I'm perfect. My league's perfect. We're all a bunch of ballers. We're all 8 feet taller than every single one of you that play in these little tiny small leagues. I get tired of hearing people tell me how perfect their league is, how perfect they are, and how no one ever makes bad trades. Nobody. I'm Nathan. Nobody makes bad trades in my league. I'll tell you what. I see it every single day. I see it every couple hours. People are making horrible trades, and I'm helping people do it. Sometimes someone comes to me and makes a horrible trade, and I make them take a lap. I ask them why they didn't consult me. Sometimes is Avi in here? Avi will make some of the best trades, bring some of the best ideas, have some of the best offers on the table, and he's ready to press the button, and he hasn't pressed it yet. We're like, why haven't you pressed the button? Then Avi comes in and says, Smitty, I just traded away this, and this. And I'm like, Avi, what are you doing? So bring your trades to me, but I don't want to hear any more from people in the chat that say, oh, you can't get that. You just can't get it, Smitty. What are we supposed to do? Even Steven trades? Am I supposed to only offer trades where everybody makes out like a bandit on this one? Let's all shake hands, spit in our hands, and shake hands. What a great trade for everybody all around. Like, no, you're supposed to take advantage of your league mate. That's the way it goes. That's what trading's all about. You think my trading technique videos, and get ready for a whole lot of psychology and fantasy football coming in 2023. I'm dropping a lot of them on the show constantly. We're going to make a library full of them. You're going to go to school at thefantasyfootballshow.com when it comes to trade negotiation, how to size up your opponent, how to do this, how to do that, foot in the door phenomenon, order of questioning, all these trade techniques. All these trade techniques. Yes, Silver Rapture. Nasty Nate. Nate doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, but go. You can do this, bro. You can do this. Start offering DJ Moore and Sanders for players you shouldn't be getting. Like ETN. Like Kenneth Walker. Like potentially... Maybe JT. I'm not saying for sure. Maybe JT. Maybe JT's back is what I'm not trying to pump anybody up too much. Don't go doing something stupid on my excitement. I'm admitting to you right now, I'm getting a little overly amped up about JT practicing today. Well, let's go. I'm just feeling like maybe he bounces back in a major way, and maybe it's time to just kind of get in there and just scoop a couple JT shares here, scoop a couple JT shares there. Very, very light work. Don't do anything crazy, but I'm just kind of feeling like there's some potential here. You know, there's some potential here. This new Saturday character hire a coach named Saturday. They play games on Sunday. I don't understand it either. But this guy might be trying to impress some people, not trying to dial it all back. Sometimes people think that everyone just wants to take a dive. That's not how a lot of people operate. And I have a feeling Saturday's coming in, and I'm not excited about what he brings to the table necessarily, but I have a feeling they want to impress. I have a feeling they want to impress, and I feel like it's time to maybe take a stab at this buy low value that still may exist for JT, as JT owners are panicked. Now, here's what we got, the counterpoint here. Smitty, it's Nate again. I'm sorry. I have one more question. Yes, Nate, how can we help you? I'm sorry to be so negative, but it's in my nature. I'm negative Nate. And my question, Smitty, is how are we supposed to get him low now that there's news out there that he practiced? Not everybody watches this show, bro. Not everybody interprets things like I do. And a guy practicing, looking good practicing, not everybody's going to take that for what you and I are taking it for. Okay, so there's still opportunity to go get JT before this owner really takes in and absorbs that he practiced. What's that even mean? Another point is that I minute you say trade, next say scoop him up. Hey, D money in the chat. D says that I changed my mind a lot. D, this is an evolving, fluid, ever-flowing sport. Do you want me to go to my TPS report that I created before the season and just tell you where I rank JT there? Or do you want me to adjust and adapt? What was your name again? D. Do you want me to adjust and adapt, D? I mean, really, what do you want from your analyst? Do you want your analyst to sit there and go, yeah, well, I said it last week, so I'm just going to stick my thumb in my nose and just watch it all unfold the way I kind of feel like it might go now, but I can't look like I'm backtracking, because changing my mind means I am flip-flopping. I'm wishy-washy. No! What's his name again? D. No, D! You gotta stay fluid, D. You gotta stay loose and liquid, D. D's making the glasses come on. I'm getting a little bit amped up, and I'm feeling like my eyes are already bugging. My eyes are already bugging. I'm trying to read D's name go by like this. D, I don't want everybody to blast D. Like, stop. Let me talk to D. You guys leave D alone. But D, honestly, bro, like, what are you expecting from me? Tell me what you want me to do. D, would you like to call in? I'll open the phone line just for you. Not to blast you, but to have a conversation. I want you to advise me. I work for you, D. I work for every one of you. So, D, partly I'm responsible for adhering to your instruction. And so, D, I would like you to tell me how I'm supposed to proceed if I decide that maybe JT's looking healthy, time to act. G, what do you want me to do, D? What do you want me to do? When something comes in, what am I supposed to do? Does this stuff not evolve? Are you not fluid, D? I'm liquid, D. Are you liquid? I'm liquid. You should be liquid. Your players should be liquid. You should be able to move them around like money, okay? Move them around like liquid assets, D. D, call in. Instruct me how to run my show, D. I need to know. I need to know what I'm doing wrong so I can correct it, so I can fix it, D. Is D going to call in? Most people don't want to call in. And I understand. I'm not trying to scare D off. I respect D. I respect D. Sometimes the individual that I go back and forth with like this, we develop this bond where it's like they're now a diehard follower and I have mad respect for him. So let's see if D calls in. We'll see if D's going to give me proper instruction. He says he's liquid. D, let me know if you want me to call in. He's liquid. D's liquid. If you're liquid, raise your hand or drop one of the water liquid emojis, whatever you got to do. D, I appreciate you. I do. I'm not mad at you. I would love for you to call in though, D. Okay. This one's from, do I have a voice message here from, this is from B-Men.
Rank these tight ends this week. Knox, Freiermuth, Pitts.
Knox, Freiermuth, Pitts. I'd probably go. Freiermuth is safer. Pitts is high risk, high reward. Plain and simple. I wish I could give you something that Diaz settled down. D's good. D's good. Doing a good job. Thank you, D. D's good. But I don't. It's not that I've. A lot of people say, Smitty, you're sensitive or whatever. I'm not sensitive. I just am not afraid to confront somebody that doesn't understand me. Okay? If someone says, Smitty, I don't agree with your Breece Hall take. Does anybody see me go at them and say, oh, you need to love Breece Hall? I'm proud of people that have bold opinions. If someone says, Smitty, I know you like bold. I'm going to tell you right now, Cordero Patterson's running back 1 from here until the end of this season. Do I blast? Have you ever, has anybody in here ever seen me blast somebody for having a bold take that they believe in? No. The answer is no. I'll answer it for you. What I struggle with is when people don't understand me and then they call me out. And they say something like, this guy flip-flops. Look, now he likes JT. Or somebody goes into an old video and comments about something that they as soon as the news breaks, it changes the direction. They go into a 3-month-old video, go, what do you think of that? You didn't see that one coming. Like, look, everything's crazy. Everything's evolving. I'm not going to get everything right. If you want ammunition, D, let me tell you, D. Let me give D something. I loved Clyde Edwards-Helaire a couple years ago. Thought he was going to do well. He didn't, D. There you go. Now you got ammunition. I'm not perfect. But what I do have are a particular set of skills.
If you stop sending me these terrible fantasy football trade offers now, that will be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will tell the commissioner on you.
I bet you will. I bet, D, I hope you're not that guy. Don't be that guy. Okay. B-Man. What did B-Man ask? I forget.
Rank these tight ends this week.
Yeah. Thank you, B-Man. Lance.
Hey, Smitty, trying to trade St. Brown and Cortland Sutton for Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I bet you are. I bet you are, bro. The reason he paused, look how long he paused at the end there, that middle one right here. He paused there because he thought maybe I need to delete this. like.
Hey, Smitty, trying to trade St. Brown and Cortland Sutton for Stephon Diggs.
Maybe I bet you are. Lance, if you pull that off, my guy, not only are you my hero, but you will be the sorcerer of thy day.
The sorcerer of the day is...
The sorcerer of the day is currently empty.
Magic Man.
We'll see who the magic man is of today. But Lance was like, whoa, wait, maybe this isn't a good idea. Lance, try it. Might end a friendship, but it's worth trying. What's Shadi saying? Shadi says, I can't read all this. Let's have the computer read it.
Smitty, you are honest and want to have an open conversation. You never claim to be right 100 PCT of the time, but the damn record speaks for itself. You are batting 1,000 _show to moon : _ show Smitty.
I appreciate you, Shadi. I'm not batting 1,000, but I do appreciate your love and support. Thank you, Shadi. B-Man.
Would you buy low on Josh Allen, let's say for Burrow or Hurts, or maybe go for a lower quarterback to try to buy low?
I would definitely buy low on Josh Allen.
Would you buy low on Josh Allen?
Yeah. I definitely buy low on Josh Allen, bro. I mean, could he miss a game? Like, it doesn't feel like it's a 4 or 5 game thing. You know, the fact that he's gonna try and play the take, you never know. Like, I mean, Najee showed up with the Liz Frank injury that he had that he was supposedly healed from, and no one knew. Like, so we don't truly know. No one knows anything. Izzy's got the Gray's Book Sports Almanac. Izzy says Josh Allen's out 3 to 6 weeks. Interesting news. Fake news there, Izzy. I don't know where you got that one from. From probably from one of those videos circulating out there where people are like, let me tell you something. I have not seen Josh Allen or seen his elbow or diagnosed him or have any x-rays or anything. But I'm going to tell you right now, my Uncle Bud had this same injury back in 1987. when science wasn't quite where it is today, and Uncle Bud couldn't return to the factory for 3 to 6 weeks. He could barely lift his cereal bowl and his big metal spoon that he makes Margaret wash every single night because he needs that same cereal bowl Margaret, give me that cereal. Where's my cereal bowl? This guy, Bud, couldn't work for 3 to 6 weeks, bro. And so, yeah. 3 to 6. I appreciate you, Izzy. But Izzy, stop going with speculative stuff, bro. We don't know. This isn't something you can speculate on. We don't have all the information. No one knows. Only people only talk about, like, worst case scenario, best case scenario, and no one knows what's going on in between. No one knows. But I appreciate you, Izzy. I have nothing but love for you, okay? But that's fake news. He's out 3 to 6 weeks. Where's this report, Izzy? I'm waiting for it. Fake news. We need a fake news button. I do need an elbow model. Did Izzy respond? Izzy, I appreciate you. I want you to know that. Izzy, where's Izzy? Izzy? Nothing. No reply. Okay. Izzy, if you'd like to call in too, let me know. What's up, Steve? Smitty, rank the Bills players that mean something in fantasy. How bad do certain players take a hit? I don't really want to go there yet because I feel like that's not a good... I don't want to freak people out. I mean, clearly if Allen were out, then, Diggs would take a huge hit. Oh, Izzy's creating a panic. Sorry, I wanted people to panic and sell him. Well, like, is someone in your league watching, Izzy? Because otherwise you're affecting your people. You're affecting your family. This is your fam, Izzy. Okay? If Steven's in here from your league, then let me know and we can do like a 30-second fake, news break or something where you could tell Steven to watch you could send him just this clip and I'll go, in breaking news, and I could just give some fake report. But to come in here to your own fam and try and throw him a curveball, bro, don't do it. Don't do it. All right, let's get to these super chats and then I'll answer some more of these voicemails. Oh, Lance is the guy that paused. Oh, he's got another pause. Look at Lance paused on the second one down, and then he paused again on this other one. Like, I don't know if he's maybe having second guesses when he leaves these.
I definitely did pause, bro, but he's seriously thinking about taking it. He just texted me right now. That's interesting.
Hold. Lance, we're going to start calling.
I definitely did pause, bro, but he's seriously thinking about taking it. He just texted me right now.
Ready?
That's interesting.
Hold. And then he ends it. I don't know. I like the way he leaves his messages. Lance, don't change for nobody. I would take that trade and run from those veto police that will be after you is shortly after you guys pull that trade off. You got to be careful sometimes because if you pull off a trade that's so bad that it's getting vetoed, you're almost better off giving a little bit more before you end up ruining the whole thing for you. Like when you get greedy, like when these people come to me and say, "Hey, Smitty, I'm getting Diggs and I'm giving up I'm giving up Christian Kirk and James Conner." And you're like, "Okay, bro, you're absolutely slamming them. Like, you're just slamming them into the ground." And they go, "What do you think about if I ask for a wide receiver back?" Like, you're getting greedy. You're going to have this thing completely upside down and vetoed just by getting greedy and adding more. Like, take your W, bro, and walk away. I almost feel like you need to add more. What was this trade again?
Hey, Smitty, trying to trade St. Brown and Cortland Sutton for Stephon Diggs.
Who's Cortland Sutton? I don't even remember who that is anymore. So I love St. Brown. I don't want to crap on St. Brown, especially if he watches this. He'll mad dog me till the end of time. Every time he scores a touchdown, I'll probably pull a sign out and say, "What do you think of that, Smitty? You're not buying me low?" I'm buying low on St. Brown. I'm buying low on St. Brown all day long. All day long. I love St. Brown. I understand people are fed up with him. I get it, but I'm buying low. Why? Because he's dirt cheap right now. I'm buying low. But that's ridiculous. That like you're playing with fire, Lance. You almost need to throw in a better player. I mean, don't at this point you got to let it work itself out. But I'm just saying. I got no more voicemails for my voicemail. I know it's kind of on me because sometimes I haven't always answered all the voicemails, but I'm a little bit discouraged, and it's partly my fault. I'm discouraged at myself, but I'm discouraged nonetheless that the voicemail groups, we have 30 people in every one of these chats, and we have 2 or 3 messages, and that's it. I might have to, and it's not your fault, but I might have to clean house on them unless people are going to leave voice messages in these groups. I know it's on me, but we're starting to try and change that. So I need people to leave them. If you're in one of my voicemail groups, please leave me a voicemail.
Grindhouse wear. It's what all the cool cats are wearing.
Grindhouse wear.
Smitty is live Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Smitty is also live at midnight Eastern Time. Almost every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And he's live whenever news breaks. YouTube.com/The Fantasy Football Show.
That's the Voss. That's the Voss, baby. The Voss dropping a new. That he's just letting you know what's up. He's letting you know what time it is. Occasionally, the voice, the voice of the show. This guy right here, the mystery man.
Live from the Fantasy Football.
Every once in a while, he sends me just some random amazing clip.
When you want to make heads turn, make sure you're wearing Grindhouse wear.
Wear Grindhouse apparel. Do it live. Left a voicemail, Smitty. Thank you, James. James, you're not at risk of getting... And I don't want anybody to think I'm meaning anything negative by it, but we need to get some voice messages.
Hey, Smitty, as we're approaching the second half of the fantasy year, let's say you're a top 3 or top 4 team in your league. Are you approaching your bench any differently now that you're approaching the playoffs? Like, are you stashing a second quarterback? Like, if you have Dak and Justin Fields, are you stashing them? Are you stashing a second tight end? Or are you basically playing it the same way you do all year?
There's no real way to answer that. It's case by case, team by team. How's your team look? What do you need? Are there players that you're trying to stop other people from picking up? Like if Fields were out there and I didn't need him, of course I'd pick him up to trade him. But like let's say the trade deadline was passed, I'd still pick him up because I don't want anybody else owning him. So there's that approach. But all of it just depends on your bench size, everything. But in general, it's not a bad idea to start thinking about weeks from now, if you have a wide receiver spot that is like you're just burning it and there's nothing going on with it, like you don't need Odell Beckham Jr. I mean maybe he surprises me. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt he's up to speed in enough time to really help you. But like I'd rather have the Jets defense they're on a bye. The bye weeks are right here. Ravens, Bengals, Patriots, Jets. They're on a bye. People are cutting them. I'd rather like scoop the Jets D up and have this D rotation than to have like an Odell Beckham Jr. in my rotation. Because I honestly feel like you're starting Odell in like the final weeks of the season when you don't know what he's going to bring you. You're playing with fire. Mike Powers dropping a 20 wad right on screen. Mike Powers doing things. He's doing things. Mike Powers, would you start Cordero over DeAndre Swift? Right now, I would. I'm not saying don't find a spot for Swift in your flex spot and Cordero's your number 2, but if you're like loaded at running back and you've got these 2 options, how can you sit Cordaly? How can you sit a man that somebody on the show once upon a time, it's such a complicated name, he called him Cordaly. He couldn't say the word Cordero. He couldn't do it. He called him Cordaly. And until this man's out of the league, that's what his name is here. Until the end of time. Cordero Patterson looks like a running back 1, broski. He looks like a running back 1. Let me get this person out of here. We got so many spam people that come in here. I love Cordaly. He looks like an elite running back 2, but like running back 1, potential every week until he gets hurt. Thomas dropped a $20 wad as well. So Thomas dropped a $20 wad. Appreciate you. Let me Let me just make sure I got all the $20 ones on the screen here. This one's from Nate. Nate says he's 3 and 6. The colors are all off, so I gotta lower the shades there. Okay, Thomas, 20. Thomas, my guy. Hey, Smitty. You want to know if you think I should make any moves? I'm 6 and 3. I've got Tua, Dak, ETN, Walker. This guy Walker.
Kenneth Skywalker. Kenneth Lightsaber Swinging Skywalker.
Lightsaber swinging Skywalker, please report to the principal's office. You've been a bad, bad boy, Skywalker. You're dropping wads all over the field. And this guy right here owns my 2 favorite running backs right now, in ETN and Skywalker. And then Pierce is not bad at all. Love Damian Pierce. Absolutely love this man. Everybody drop a Skywalker. Everybody in the YouTube exclusive membership group, drop a Skywalker emoji, please. Yeah, and if anybody ever wants that Skywalker played, just drop a $10 or higher super chat and say swing my Skywalker or swing my lightsaber, Smitty, and I'll drop it anytime you want it. 486 people in the room. Appreciate you all being here. Hit that thumb up button on the way out the door. Let's see here. Okay, so this team's phenomenal. I mean, your running backs are great. Your wide receivers are really good. Gabe Davis is sneaky. Don't let anybody tell you need to get rid of him. Bench him. Just keep him in there. He's ready to go. As long as Josh Allen's back, he's ready to go. What's Mark say? Let's hold on. Is Mark joking or is Mark serious? Is this that guy that comes in here and does this all the time? Where's he at? This guy, where is he at? Mark. Where is that at? There's this guy that keeps saying this. Mark, man. God, he talks about the same people on each episode. ETN, blah, blah, blah. Is this real? Or is Mark joke? I think maybe Mark's for real. Mark, are you for real? Because I'd love for you to call up, Mark. I can open the phone line for you, Mark. You want to call in and tell me what's on your mind? My door is open, Mark. Let's talk about something fresh and new. Mark, I'm going to leave you right here. You want to open the phone? If you want me to open the phone line, Mark, we can have a conversation. Unbelievable. You know what's crazy? What's crazy is I go live more than anybody. I go live more than anybody, Mark. How dare you, Mark? I go live more than anybody. I go live for 2, 3. Sometimes this live stream's gone for 5 straight hours. And I literally talk about, I don't know how many thousands of things per week. Thousands. I actually figured it out. I answer well over 1,000 to 1,500 at least questions per week. 1,500 probably questions per week. Minimum on this show. Minimum. That's like me lowballing the number. And it's like, do you think I talk about Kenneth Walker 1,500 times a week, Mark? Do you think when I go live from 7 p.m. to sometimes midnight or 11 p.m. Eastern on just my Monday through Friday show and only talk about 1 or 2 players? I don't understand. I don't get it, Mark. I don't get it. Okay, where are we at? Let's help out Thomas. Let's help out Thomas. Not let Mark get me all riled up because Mark thinks I don't talk about more than 2 or 3 players. I'm live. Let's see, 3 hours a day. Let's get the calculator out. 3 hours. Let's just call it. We'll call it 3 hours a day on average, Monday through Friday. That's 5. That's 15 hours. Then we're talking about 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 hours with the midnight show, plus 11. That's 26 hours. I'm live for 30 minutes on Sunday morning. I'm live for about 2 hours on Sunday evening. I'm live for at least 2 or 3 breaking news videos a day or a week. That's like another 4 hours. 32.5 hours a week I'm live, bro. I'm live 27 to 32 hours a week. Mark. 27 to 32 hours a week, Mark. I mean, that's almost as long as your shift, bro. At the office, bro. Can you imagine speaking live? And that doesn't include my thefantasyfootballshow.com work that I do. That doesn't constitute all my emails and marketing and like how many. I probably spend 15 hours, 20 hours a week on that stuff. I work 100. I calculated the other day. I work 120 hours a week, bro. 120 hours a week. Mark has to come in here and tell me that I don't talk but about 3 or 4 players. All right, back to this. I'm sorry. I'm 6-3. I got Tua, Dak, ETN, Walker, Pierce. Hey, just for that, Mark. Here's another look at the Walker. Let's talk about Kenneth Walker.
Kenneth Skywalker. Kenneth lightsaber swinging Skywalker.
Swing your lightsaber, Kenneth. Don't let Mark get you down, Kenneth. Don't let him do it. All right, where was the super chat? I just got rid of it. Don't worry about him, Mark. Or Kenneth. Don't worry about Kenneth, Mark. All right, who was this? This was Thomas. Thomas dropping a wad. Walker Pierce. You got a great team. The only thing I would recommend for you, trade Higgins for... Oh, you got Kelsey. Wow, I didn't even see Kelsey there, bro. Your team is fire. There's nothing to do. Maybe Higgins and Pierce for like a little bit better running back. Like just start poking around, go from Chubb down until you get to a point where it's not advisable to trade Pierce for that running back any longer because Pierce is equivalent. You know, like you get a Nick Chubb for a Pierce and Higgins. Maybe that's not even something you want to do. Actually, maybe you go a little rogue at running back 3, and it doesn't really matter, right? ETN, Walker, Pierce, it seems like it's a flex, so trade Pierce and Higgins for one better wide receiver, and then you roll with 3 wide receivers. You roll with Adams, Gabe Davis, and the wide receiver you acquire using Pierce and Higgins, and that could get you potentially a Cooper Kupp if you catch somebody sleeping. You know, JJ, if you catch him sleeping. Tyreek Hill, I'd maybe go after that. I'd maybe go rogue at your depth with your RBs, bro. Definitely. Okay, let's go with the next super chat. Colin, trade Lenny for Connor. Got Kamara and JT. Lenny for Connor. I don't think I would do that. I think I'd rather try and sell Lenny higher than that. Although I don't really care for either going forward. I like Connor a little bit more, but I feel like the trade value is better. Unbelievable. Next super chat. Hit that thumb up button on your way in the door. We got 161 thumbs up, 502 of you in the building. Appreciate you all here. Hit subscribe. My J Will for JT. I would take JT in a heartbeat, bro.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Like, that's not even a close one at all. JT in a heartbeat. In a millisecond. Slayer, appreciate you and your super chat, my guy. Slayer says, oh, that was Slayer's. Slayer, go do that. Do that right now. Do it live. This message is from Kyle.
Hey, Smitty, do you think New Orleans will stick with Van Dorn or go back to Watson?
Hey,
Smitty, do you think New Orleans will stick with Van Dorn or go back to Watson?
I don't know, bro. Sorry, I'm trying to... We got a spam bot in here again. Why are all the spammers out tonight? I think my mods got it. Thank you, mods. I think I got a couple mods in the building. Voicemail group number 2.
Hey, Smitty, what's your thoughts on Pacheco going forward? You think last week's production had to do with game flow?
I feel like Pacheco's a good hold in a place where like you literally there's no one else. You're deep benches. You have nobody else to pick up. I'm not cutting Pacheco for an Odell Beckham Jr. yet. But am I holding Pacheco over Rachaad White? I'm taking Rachaad White. Would I rather have Khalil Herbert over Pacheco? Probably for right now. Would I rather have a Wan'Dale Robinson over Pacheco? Yes. Would I rather have Dawson Knox as my backup tight end because I don't have a backup tight end and I'm worried about my tight end spot? I'd probably rather go down that road. Taysom Hill gets cut. I'd probably still pick up Taysom Hill. Somebody cut somebody crazy like Gabe Davis. I'm obviously scooping up Gabe Davis. Go trade for Gabe Davis now. Go trade for Gabe Davis now. Smitty Pierce is injured. Go watch the beginning of the show, Will. I talk about that. It's not expected to be a big deal. Hero traded JT and Khalil Herbert for Fournette.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
I don't like that at all, bro. I like JT's practicing, bro. JT's looking like this might be JT's resurgence week. Like, no, absolutely not. I would have sent him this.
You are offer sex. You are trade offer sex.
Alert. Alert.
I don't like that. Hero, I love you. You're my boy, Blue. But I would not have traded JT away for Leonard Fournette, the player I've been screaming about. Stay away from him. He's on the decline. He's going to pitter out. Just kind of, at the end of the year, just crash and burn. He's on his way down. He's falling apart as we speak. He's just puttering to a complete stop. And now you go after him? Hero. My guy. I appreciate you, though. Man, my dude. I hope he has that backwards. You need to bring that to me, Hero, next time. Isaiah likely dropped on waivers, worth picking up. Totally depends on your situation, Ozzy. I still like him. He scored a touchdown. He still did okay in PPR. It was like an okay day, but like it wasn't like he exploded like we wanted without Mark Andrews. But maybe Mark Andrews, and I still trade for Mark Andrews, and I don't think Mark Andrews is a big risk coming off this bye week. As you can see, the bye week's on screen. The Ravens have a bye week in week 10. I think he comes back healthier, but if he doesn't, he'll go off. Lenny going back up says champ mode. We will see. The question is, though, JT's going back up too, though. You know what I mean? Like, if you believe that to be true. So, I'm not. It's acquire JT week now for me. You're gonna hear a lot of go get JT for me. It's okay. Hero's had a lot of W's, so, and he's been super chatting all year. I appreciate him. I hope he didn't take that too hard. But you guys ask me for my honest opinion, so I'm going to tell you to take a lap when it's a bad trade. I'm going to tell you to pat yourself on the back and make you a Gotham sorcerer hero of the day when you do good trades. But definitely not liking that one at all. Not at all. $5 hauler from that boy just traded DK Jamal for Sun God. I appreciate you, that boy, and this isn't a Smitty disapprove necessarily, but DK and Jamal, I probably would rather have that side. I love St. Brown. I wish you would trade Jamal straight up for St. Brown. That's where St. Brown's value is currently sitting at that like cellar dweller. People are giving up on him pricing. You kind of paid like his old price tag a little bit. So I don't like this trade, but I don't hate it so much that I'm hitting the button because I love St. Brown. St. Brown could be the best player in the deal, but DK's really pretty decent, man. So no, I'm gonna say no. I wouldn't have done that, but I'm not gonna make you take a lap. Trade. Thank you for the super chat. Trade Curtis Samuel for Sutton. Who's this Cortland Sutton guy everybody keeps talking about? Who is this guy? Did he used to play for a team that was relevant at one point where they had a quarterback named Mr. Limited? I mean, I'm not going after Sutton at all. I suppose because I feel like there is value, maybe this is a decent, like, nothing burger trade, and then you could throw Sutton into another deal. But Cortland Sutton, I don't know that he's got any more value than Curtis Samuel. Maybe someone would rather trade in a deal where you're throwing in Curtis Samuel. He scored a touchdown last week. Maybe people are just remembering, what have you done for me lately? I just don't know. I mean, I just don't know if Cortland Sutton's that good. I don't think it's a horrible trade. There's no lap being taken here, Ozzy, but I feel like this is like we're trading pennies here. You know, is this penny better than this penny? Maybe. That one's a little shinier. I'll take that penny. We're trading pennies here. Sutton is a little bit better of a throw-in. So the answer is yes. I guess I Smitty approve it, and then I flip him. I try and convince somebody that Sutton's still in the NFL.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Hey, Bob. You know that Sutton character? Yeah, he's still in the league. Yep, no, he's still playing. No, I assure you, he's still in the league. I promise you. Yeah, I'll trade you Sutton. I'll throw him into the deal for free. I just made the trade worse. Okay, I'll take him back out. Okay, deal, done deal? Thank you. We'll see if it hampers your trade, helps your trade. We will see. TBA, Ozzy. I Smitty approve Ozzy, though. Ozzy to the moon.
To the moon.
Ozzy's my dude. Should I trade JT for Debo? I believe this is a pretty good trade on both sides. I'm starting to believe in JT resurgence week. However, this is a pretty decent move. You couldn't have done this 2 weeks ago. You couldn't have done it an hour ago. Well, the news on JT actually did break a little earlier than an hour ago. But I don't think this is a bad deal. You need a wide receiver. This is a pretty safe sidestep. Lateral move. Boom. Debo, I'm worried about him. I think his potential rushing attempts being taken away from CMC, which I really think will happen. It worries me about Debo, but this isn't that bad of a sidestep. This is an okay sidestep. I still maybe look to trade Debo on the high. I'm always about flipping. I don't just flip somebody one time and say, well, that means I like him. I flip him sometimes strategically because I'm willing to take the risk that I can't flip him again. Like, you got to like him enough to be stuck with him. But I'm probably trying to flip this one more time. But if I need a RB, I might be looking to do this deal, to be honest with you. I might ask for a little bit more. Give me that Gabe Davis. Give me that Pittman. Throw him in. Just throw him in, you know? But I don't mind this on either side. I could Smitty approve. I'll Smitty approve that for both of you. You both win. You both win. Chicken dinner. Winner, winner. Heating podcast. Is Nick Folk a league winner? Buy low candidate. 6-3. And comfortable losing for a few weeks. I have Damian Pierce, Kamara, Amari, Jacoby, Singletary, Taysom, Foreman. I wouldn't go as far as to call him a league winner, my guy. I don't think that's something that I'm gonna be throwing out there. That's we use that term a little looser than we should. But I would say that's pretty aggressive. But anyway, appreciate you heating. DP, you have Damian Pierce, Kamara, Amari. I like your team. I think you need I don't know if you have any other wide receivers. If that's your best wide receiver, I feel like I'll be trading Foreman and Amari or trying to do something. You got to have more players than that, Heating. I don't know about league winner. I don't know about league winner. We'll say maybe he can help assist you in winning your league. Heating, appreciate you. You are Smitty approved. You're going to the moon.
To the moon.
Trade Lamar and Rondell for Brady, Foreman, and Jamal Williams. What's this?
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
You haven't been Smitty disapproved, but the offer completely...
You are offer sex. You are trade offer sex.
I don't really understand this right here. I don't really get this right here. Like, why are... I told everyone to be a little careful of Lamar. And you remember what happened week 1, 2, 3. People came out my neck. Smitty, you were wrong about Lamar. How dare you? Lamar's fallen off a little bit. I do, however, believe that people are having knee-jerk reactions to an extreme degree with Lamar. Lamar is just as capable of bouncing back as he is of continuing to go down this dark path of kind of mediocre production or some scary spotty play. Like, Lamar is capable of dropping a 40-point game at any moment, and the fact that everybody's like jumping ship and getting off the train, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you've got to hold on to Lamar when you're talking about replacing him with Brady, Foreman, Jamal Williams. Foreman and Jamal are losing value by the day. Brady's losing value by the second. And you're going to trade away Lamar Jackson? I don't think so, Alex. Not on my watch. As much as I cautioned everybody to worry about ups and downs for Lamar, and I did look wrong at the beginning of the year. I admit it. I was like, okay, maybe I misjudged this. No, he's back to doing the Lamar up and down thing, and he struggles with certain parts of his game. Doesn't mean I trade him away. Yeah, I know the bye week is probably influencing him as well, but there's no way I sell for this. This does not make sense. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Do I get out of the Lamar game for something that's more secure or crafty? Sure. This is not crafty, Alex. This is a bad offer. Hit the no button, bro. Hit the no button. Hit the no button and do it live. Do it live. We got a $20 hauler. Interruption time from a man called Easy Eddie 32, who's dropping a wad on the screen. Nice little wad. Easy Ed sliding into the super chat 20 spot line here. Hi, Smitty. Well, he actually didn't even say that. I made that up. Hi, S. 12 team. This is the first time someone's called me that before, by the way. What's up, S? 12 team PPR 6-3. Just traded AJ Dillon and Godwin for Foreman and DJ Moore. I feel like that's I don't know that I love that. I don't know that I hate it. I don't know that I love it. I don't feel like it was a move that you won, but I also feel like it wasn't a move you got blasted on, but I don't know how I feel about that. Foreman could change my thinking after another good week. But the Panthers blow. And that's going to hold Foreman back. Foreman will be inconsistent. And I kind of feel like DJ Moore and Godwin are very close, and AJ Dillon's got a little appeal right now with Aaron Jones being banged up. But banged up, I mean, who knows how long he's out if he even misses this week. I think he probably will, but maybe he doesn't. We don't really know. It's very unclear. But I feel like I'd rather have AJ Dillon right now over Foreman, and that could change, like with one more week. But Foreman just looked like nothing again. And then Chuba's coming back, and the offense is putrid. And Godwin and DJ Moore, I don't know. It's not horrible. I just don't know that I love either side of it. But let's look at the rest of the question. Thoughts on the roster. Kyler Murray Fields. You need to maybe trade. Oh, it's a super flex? No? Is there a super? I don't see a super flex. You got to trade one of those quarterbacks then. You got a nice backup. I don't mind that, but I would trade one of them. Walker, Stevenson, Swift. Love the running backs, bro. Love them. Mike Evans, Ayuk, Hollywood, Kelsey. Very good team. Very good team. Trade one of the RB or one of the quarterbacks. Try and upgrade. I would say like Ayuk. Try and get another wide receiver similar to Evans in there. And you could probably roll with Swift, Stevenson, and Walker as a kind of a nice little high-risk, high-reward running back stable. I don't mind that. Would I trade Fields and Swift to upgrade Swift into a Chubb or something a little bit near that territory? Absolutely. I'd go after upgrading Swift. I'd go after upgrading Ayuk. Kelsey's phenomenal. Evans phenomenal. Stevenson, Kenneth Walker. Kyler, I think, is actually decent. I'd rather trade Fields away and get another lineup piece. But if you don't upgrade majorly, don't trade Fields, and you could start Fields and maybe trade Kyler for a smaller piece. To a quarterback needy team, Kyler and Ayuk will still be very attractive. Okay, so don't think you can't keep Fields and trade Kyler. You can make that your objective as well. You don't have to set yourself up for only trading Fields away. You just will get less in return, and you have to be okay with that. Alex, appreciate your super chat earlier on this Lamar question. This one right here from Cody. We have 467 of you in here, only 190 thumbs up. Please punch that button on your way in the door. Superflex, I have Burrow, got offered Aaron Rodgers and Walker.
Kenneth Skywalker. Kenneth Lightsaber Swinging Skywalker.
Kenneth Lightsaber Swinging Skywalker. I say. I have Burrow offered Aaron Rodgers and Walker for Justin Herbert and Sun God. Superflex. I have Burrow. You got offered Aaron Rodgers and Walker for Justin Herbert, Sun God. I mean, Walker's top 5 running back. Sun God, I love him a lot, but he's not a top 10 wide receiver right now. He's just not. As much as I love him, as much as I believe he could be, you buy him at the value he holds. I buy low on him. I do. Or I don't sell him if I'm you. Like if you can get away with it. But Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert, there's a potential that A-Rod and Herbert score the same going forward. I'm taking Walker. I'll take the odds. I'll take my chances with Aaron Rodgers performing a lot better going forward if it gives me Walker. But it is a tough move because Superflex is definitely a different monster. And for people that look at this and say, well, I don't play Superflex, but I can imagine it, I would take Walker. There is some kind of hesitation here because of if Herbert does bounce back, and I think he will at some point, that you're really leaving some value on the board if he does bounce back to top 5 quarterback form. Now, if you don't believe he will, and I think there's reason to believe he might not this year because the wide receiver room is completely decimated. I go Walker. I hate giving up Sun God. I wish you could give up a different player. But I would Smitty approve that trade. On the Walker side, I just like it a lot. I like Walker. I love getting Walker into that lineup, bro. Stream Brissett versus Miami. Play Cousins versus Buffalo. Cousins. I don't trust Brissett. I don't know if you got other options like Danny Dimes or anything like that, but I'd definitely probably go Cousins. He's got JJ. There's always going to be touchdown opportunities. Buffalo's getting rolled a little bit right now. If Josh Allen sat out, it'd be even more the case, but I think Buffalo's vulnerable. I think Buffalo bounces back. I think they're a Super Bowl contending team still. Pick 2, 0.5 PPR. Swift, Foreman, Pickens, Gabe Davis, Palmer. Give me Swift. Give me Gabe Davis if Josh Allen's playing. I'm not scared of Gabe Davis right now. Everybody thinks he's like hard to touch right now. I'm not going to put him in my lineup. I'm not worried about it. Gabe Davis back-to-back games his last last two games, week 9 and week 8, where he had a touchdown opportunity and it didn't line up right. It'd be very different. He's getting those looks. It's just there were two very bad situations where Josh Allen overthrew him in week 8. In week 9, he had another touchdown opportunity. I'm not worried about Gabe Davis. I'm just not. Pick 2, very easy call for me. Maybe not for everybody. Sell high on Najee. Franny, that's cute. You mean like sell low on him? Because no one's buying him high, bro. Nobody's buying him, Franny. No one. His own mother wouldn't buy him if she was in a fantasy league and he was available. She probably wouldn't trade for him. If she had Cordero Patterson, she would laugh in that person's face. She would send him the River Boys video. If they said, hey, I'll give you your son for your Cordero Patterson, she'd say, Cord Daily to the moon, pal. I'm not doing it. You can offer 2 of my sons, and I'm not taking Najee. Najee's very hard to trade. He's a better hold than he is like cellar dwellers, ship him off for nothing type of trade. You know what I mean? So be very careful not to give him away. He's still got some potential to bounce back, but no one's buying him. You could maybe go across position. You could maybe get Mark Andrews if you gave up Najee and a tight end that made that person feel comfortable enough. You could maybe throw him into a deal to upgrade your quarterback. I shouldn't say you can't trade him, but you can't sell him high. No one's buying him high. I would say Najee and your quarterback to go up a tier of quarterback. I would say Najee and wide receiver to get a tiny little wide receiver bump, or go get Andrews. Those feel like your only options, but those are options. It's just not a sell high option. It's just like, it's almost like a throw them in. Just throw them in. Trade Fournette for who? I have Walker. I'm 7-2. Fournette for a plethora of names I think are doable still. Gabe Davis, Amon-Ra St. Brown is my number 1. Go trade Fournette for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Go trade Fournette for JT. Give up more if you need to. Go get JT right now. That is the perfect swap. And there are people that still feel Fournette's going to bounce back, and there's still people that own JT that are petrified of owning him. Hero, go get JT. You just traded JT away, didn't you, in that league? That's the same league, isn't it, Hero? Higgins for Fields in a package. Sure. I have Josh Allen. I'm 7-2. I don't know that I'm trading Higgins for Fields if I own Josh Allen. I don't need that. I'd rather keep Higgins on my team. I have Pierce, Walker, ETN, JJ, Olave, Kelsey, Pittman. Maybe you have Fields. Higgins for, I think you're wanting to acquire Higgins. Yeah. That's a pretty good move. I would try and aim a little higher, though. I'd maybe try and upgrade Pittman, maybe. I don't know. If you can't get a Higgins or a greater, you might hold. It protects you into having a really good quarterback situation, if for anything. I almost say, given your wide receivers, given that Pittman still got value, I'm gonna say hold Fields, man. This protects you. Hold Fields. You don't know what could happen with Josh Allen, and I'm very optimistic about Josh Allen compared to most channels just trying to talk about the worst case scenario is going to happen. We don't know. It could. I'm not going to say that those people are right, even if it does go that route. Nobody knows right now. It's a wait and see. But would I rather you? Does Fields do you more good in security than Higgins will do? I like Pittman enough that I'm not messing around with this. I'm keeping Fields if I'm you. Good safety net for you. You wouldn't really miss much of a beat if he keeps playing that way and you got to plug him in. It's a good safety net. Keep it. Might save your season. Should I trade Kamara and Waddle for Barkley and Judy? I'd rather have Kamara and Waddle. Oh, wait, hold on. And Chase. Should I trade Kamara and Waddle for Barkley, Judy, Chase? Give me Barkley, Judy, Chase. Yeah, it's a little bit of a risk, Ronaldo, because what if Chase goes out there, tries to run, and then tears it, his hip more, and needs surgery right away. Traded Foreman for Deontay Johnson. I'd probably rather have Foreman, but barely. You're not taking a lap on it. It's not a horrible trade. It's just one of those things where I don't trust Deontay, never have it. At least Foreman you can trade. At least he's an RB. At least if he has another good week, people will believe in him enough to trade for him. It's more about trading because I don't really love either one of them go forward. Should I take Fournette and Njoku for my Kamara? If you like losing, I would definitely trade Kamara away. If you like winning, I would not go after a player that's falling apart and losing momentum in Fournette every step he takes. So Kamara can get you way more than this. This is a bad offer. This is a bad.
You are offer sucks. You are trade offer sucks.
And that your offer doesn't. The guy's offer does. So say no to that, Joe. Walk away from the table, and don't even consider going down that road. That's a really, really bad offer. Smitty, do the time traveling bit from last night. I need to create the time machine. I haven't done it yet. When there's a good time to do it, we'll do it. We don't want to abuse all these things, but like there's a time and a place to talk about the time machine. I need to get that going. Very, very good reminder, Vamp. Thank you very much. I got it written down here. I got to make a time machine. I do have the Kenny Walker bit finally. It took me a while to get that going. I'm sorry. But Kenny Walker now has his own little theatrics. His own animations. Vamp definitely will get the time machine going. And if you super chat and you want a time machine, we'll allow that in the future when I get that set up. Herbert, Swift for Walker. Justin Herbert and Swift for Walker. I take Walker, Ada, if your QB is going to be okay. Will Jaylen Warren take over the Steelers' backfield? That's one for Ron Navy. Ron Navy, is Ron Navy in the building? Ron Navy, we need you to dial in. Let's open up the phone lines, and I'm just going to take a couple calls before I continue on the Super Chats, because I like to mix things up a little bit. I like these shows to be a little more dynamic. I don't want people to think I'm just sitting here answering Super Chats all day. Now, granted, things are different during the offseason a little bit, and we have more time. But, hopefully I can mix in, even if we have a lot of Super Chats during the offseason, which I hope we do. It helps keep the lights on. I'll do a better job of mixing things up. So if anybody wants to dial in, I'm not going to put the number on screen. You know the number. You guys don't have to post it in the chat because I'm not fully opening the phone lines. I'm merely doing a soft open of the phone lines. So, people that know. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
This is Nathan.
Nathan, what can I do for you?
Well, I'm 5-4, and I feel like my team's really good, but I got two decent quarterbacks in a non-super flex. I got Kyler Murray and Deshaun Watson, obviously not playing till like week 13. But I feel like I should try to sell them, at least one of them.
Well, this guy Watson was probably on waivers not too long ago, or at least in most leagues he's still on waivers or barely picked up, so no one's buying him, multiple weeks out of getting injected into the lineup. So I doubt you're going to be able to sell him because no one can start him right now, So I think you're on it's a waiting game before you can really. And if you traded Kyler, who would you start until he comes back? He doesn't come back until week 13.
Yeah, Derek Carr, I don't know.
Well, let's see what your team is. Maybe we do cook something up. Go ahead.
All right, yeah. Here, I'll hit you with my team. So Kyler Murray, obviously quarterback. I got Kenny Walker, Nick Chubb, and JT at running back. I got Devontae Adams, Deebo Samuel, Drake London, and Tony at wide receiver. Oh, and Wan'Dale Robinson. I got Darren Waller at tight end.
It's a good team, bro. I guess what I would consider doing if I'm you is first of all, your team's very, very lit. It's very fire. If you could put Carr in there and wait on Watson, because I don't know how consistent Murray's going to be. I like Murray though. I feel like Murray's my boy Vladdy in the building. He says that what a dumb phone call. Vladdy, be nice. People sometimes people get mad when someone has a great team and they call in. That's it. Don't take it personally. But
yeah, I feel like I shouldn't be better. I should be better than 5-4.
Yeah, you're
in like stress.
rich person problems. I would say maybe Mark Andrews would be a good option. You could always bank on Waller bouncing back too, but would I trade Murray for like a Lamb, Hopkins, anywhere in that territory? And if someone's hurting really badly at QB, they may overpay. They really may overpay. So don't think that it's not possible. Shoot for the moon. Just start going after wide receivers. Boom, 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 boom. Because London, Tony, they're good. They're okay options, but I certainly would rather you upgrade. If you can. And Murray's scared.
Definitely riding the bench.
Yeah, Murray worries.
An injury.
Murray worries me enough to say, put in Watson in week 13, 14, 15. Sure, why not? Murray's not a lock by any means right now. He's a very capable, talented player, but runs a lot, kind of banged up right now even. The Cardinals don't look good. The Cardinals have the worst schedule known to man the rest of the way. It's brutal schedule.
Yeah.
So I definitely would look to do that. So just keep going down the wide receiver list, start real high, shoot for the moon, and then, work your way down until you get to probably I don't know. I mean, you could shoot for Waddles. People might say you won't get them, but that's okay. Don't listen to people. Just try and make offers. Maybe even get to a St. Brown, and you're like, Murray for St. Brown, I'm just going to do it because I can put Carr in there. But I would definitely pick up Carr if you're going to do that. Don't leave yourself, high and dry. Carr's decent. He's decent.
Yeah, I mean, I have Adams, so I have that stacked, I guess,
Yeah.
worst case.
All right, bro.
Sweet.
Later.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Don, you're up, Don. Oh, I just hung up on Don. Don, call back and I'll get you back on the line, bro. I'm sorry. My fault, Don. Don is waiting patiently too. Would you trade Amon-Ra for Dameon Pierce? Yes, I would take Dameon Pierce in a heartbeat. Those aren't even the same values. Like, Dameon Pierce is up here value-wise. I love St. Brown, but he's way down low. Oh, wow, Sean. You're live, oh, wow.
Hi.
Hi.
So yeah, I remember I talked to you about making a trade the other day for Kenneth Walker.
Oh wow.
And but it got vetoed.
Not surprising. Oh wow.
Unfortunately, so I didn't end up getting him. But I made some changes to my team. Can I run you through my team now, or?
Yeah, go ahead and hit me with it.
Okay. So my quarterback is Mahomes. My running backs are Cordell Patterson, Alvin Kamara. My wide receiver is Devontae Adams and Stephon Diggs. My tight end is Dallas Goedert. My flex is Olave. And then my bench is Amari Cooper, DeAndre Swift, Tony Pollard, and the Jets defense.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, I super chatted earlier, but I made a trade earlier for JT and Gabe Davis for Alvin Kamara and Chris Olave, and then I saw the news, so I don't know if I made a mistake.
JT and Gabe for who?
Kamara and Olave.
No, that's fine. I mean, a lot of people would still like that better, even with the potential of JT. Yeah, you're fine. Oh wow, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, and so since I have DeAndre Swift, and do you think Cordell Patterson is a decent enough running back to keep in until DeAndre Swift comes back, or should I be targeting for someone else?
I see Patterson's playing great, bro. I don't mind this at all. And your team's deep enough.
Okay.
I probably don't even make any moves if I'm you. I would
Really?
just,
Okay.
I would just leave it the way it is. You got a really good squad, unless someone knocks on your door and says, "Oh wow, I got something that you can't turn down," and you just you got to just smash it, bro. You got to smash it. But there's nothing to do here.
Okay.
There's nothing to do. Stop worrying and stressing out about this squad.
Okay.
This is a good team. You can't even like Swift and Swift and Kamara for like the best player in the league. Maybe you go after a CMC. Sure. Like would I do that? Probably.
Okay.
But even if you didn't, you could try that Swift and Kamara for CMC and maybe try and get something back. But
Okay.
I don't know. Past that, I don't think I'm moving. I don't think I'm moving anything. Your
Okay. I'll
team's
keep
fire.
that in mind then.
Team's fire, bro. Swift and Olave for like a top 4 wide receiver, maybe. I mean, you already got 2 of them. Might as well just make it a trifecta.
Yeah, the thing is, I had Amari Cooper, and he was just like sitting on my bench, so I didn't know if it was like wasted or if I should like try to trade him for someone else or for an upgrade somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'd trade Swift and C. Patterson for a top 5 running back.
Oh, okay. Like who?
I mean, like a CMC. I think you start getting into like Walker's tempting, but at the same time, like having 2 running backs is pretty nice, bro. I don't know that I'm making too many crazy moves. Like if I'm getting CMC, I'd do something crazy, but other than that, you're good. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Don Draper, I'm sorry I hung up on you earlier.
Oh, I thought it was me. No worries.
I mean, yeah, you hung up. How rude. I forgive you.
Hey,
what can we do?
Thank you for your mercy.
Yeah.
I 12-team Superflex league, right? And I'm in a pretty good position because I have 3 solid quarterbacks. I have Herbert, Dak, and Cousins. This guy's hurting in my league. He's a contender like me, but he's sitting on Mac Jones and Zach Wilson. And so he proposed a trade to me right now, a laughable one. He wanted Cousins, and he offered me Deshaun Watson and Nyheim Hines. I obviously rejected that, but I countered and I asked him for Hopkins, DeAndre Hopkins, and Deshaun Watson for Cousins because obviously I can afford to do that because both of my current QBs have had their bye weeks already. What do you think of that deal? You think I'm kind of helping him out, or am I asking for too much?
You're probably asking for way too much, but I mean, would I do it and feel bad? No, I would hit the button and just smile, shake his hand, walk away.
Because he's hurting.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's gonna be hurt. He's gonna be hurting. He's gonna be hurting worse if he gives you Hopkins and Watson. Let's just put it that way. But
yeah,
I mean, yeah, try. I mean, maybe you got to throw in a little bit more. Like, I think you don't get this done if you do. Did you already offer this, and are you waiting to hear back, or is he mulling it over? Is this guy actually mulling?
Well, I messaged him through the app just because that was kind of like my counter. Because I already shot his trade request down, and I was thinking, so I just countered with that.
Yeah, I mean that
Hopkins
you got to think about that. That's a big counter, bro. When someone's got their mindset on Watson versus Cousins, and you come in and you say Hopkins like that, you're asking them for a top 8 wide receiver. You know, that's a lot to ask. I highly doubt he goes from 0 to 100 like that. But could you throw something else in? Sure. And the thing is, like in the chat saying this too, and I agree. Once Watson's back, he could be better than Cousins. So maybe don't worry so much about him. Worry about what it does for you. Given that you're starting Dak and Herbert right now, and you don't really need to worry so much about that other quarterback spot, I would be tempted to say what benefits me more in weeks 13, 14, 15, and it probably would be Watson. I would say. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe Cousins is better than him. I mean, he could be, but I kind of feel like I'd rather have Watson. But if you can pull this off, bro, you will be, not only will you end the friendship, you'll be the sorcerer of the day here on the show.
You see, that was part of the problem, though, right? Because I thought about that, too. I was like, it sounds like I'm kind of asking for too much.
Yeah, a little bit.
Another piece when I need to add.
I mean, you're asking for his
I don't have
second-born child. Throw in little Billy. I mean,
I know, right? So,
yeah.
Okay, so hear me out. Would you offer him, like, because on my bench is kind of weak. Like, my league's competitive, right? We're not in grandma's league here. So, I mean, on my bench, I have Brandon Cooks. I have Njoku. Obviously, he's hurt. And then I have, who else do I have? Amari Cooper. But I don't want to give up Amari Cooper because I think, he's wide receiver 1. He's getting all the targets there. So, and if Watson comes, that's all the more reason I want to hang on to him.
I like Watson.
So,
I like Watson a lot. Like, in this situation, like, people need to understand what I'm saying here. Super flex. I don't love Watson in a 1 QB league, but in a super flex, he's a pretty darn good quarterback. You might want to. Is there anybody like Malik Willis or like anybody available at all? I'm sure there isn't, right? Or
no, heck no. Everybody's spoken for.
the other thing you could consider doing is trading Cousins for Hopkins.
Yeah, that might not be a bad deal there.
And if you can get him to throw, like, get him to agree on it, this is that, like, foot in the door phenomenon, right? Who are his quarterbacks?
He has Zach Wilson and Mac Jones. That's
Okay,
it. That's why
so
he's in a bad spot.
yeah, let's just call it Zach Wilson or whatever. So if I come to you and I say, hey, Don, I'll give you Cousins for Hopkins, and you're like, okay, fine, I'm hurting bad. And then at the end, you're like, but, just like when you're at the car dealership and they tell you, we ran your credit, actually, your payment's got to be $5 more a month. And you're like, whatever, I'm already here. Like, have him throw in Zach Wilson at the end. Just be like, I want Zach Wilson. I need another quarterback. You're not even using him. Who cares? He's garbage, blah, blah, blah. And then he throws him in. And then you got Hopkins and Zach Wilson for Cousins. And honestly, I probably would take that because you're starting Herbert and Dak.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Because I'm all right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, later.
All right, later.
Yeah, if you're in a super flex, it is nice to have the 3 QBs. Definitely not advisable to get rid of your third QB, but when you're getting Hopkins, it's kind of worth trying to make it happen. Will Jaylen Warren take over? I think I already answered this one, but I think at some point, maybe I didn't actually answer it. I'm sorry, Alex. And I'm getting through all the super chats. Mark Cleveland in the building. Mark, appreciate you being here, Mark Cleveland. Mark Cleveland in the house. Different than the other Mark. Somebody says Mark. I think someone's replying late to, unless Mark Mann's also saying more things. So yeah, Mark says, not a word about Kamara, huh? You went nuts Saturday about him, and then crickets. What a clown. And then Mark right here says, same people on each episode, blah, blah, blah. So this was Mark earlier. So let's do Mark a favor. And there. Now Mark, you don't have to worry about watching the show ever again. There. I solved your problem. So much easier for you. I'm glad I was able to help. There you go, Mark. Now you'll never have to see me repeat anything ever again. Mark is deuces. Appreciate you, Mark. Rock out. Hey, Smitty, check the DMs on IG. Rock out with a 20. Let's see what Rock out's been up to.
People don't know us like they should. We're trying to get up.
Hold on, I like that.
People don't know us like they should.
It's like they should.
We're trying to get up. Trying to get to like 20K, 50K, 100K. Let's go get them. Yeah. We've been gonna take it over. We've been gonna take them over. We've been gonna take them over. Take over. Take over. We're spitting so loud, we the beast of the game. Fantasy football show, it's the beast in the game.
This is Rock Out, by the way. Rock Out makes a lot of originals for the show and DMs them to me.
The real kill skills that you need to achieve greatness. Crave me, this is how we going. We going like we shining, styling like the diamond, rhyming. This is how we got into the game. We riz to the game, that's how we gotta go. We're gonna take it over. We be gonna take it over. We be gonna take it over.
Rock Out, appreciate you. Rock Out, dropping 5. Rock Out never fails to amaze me. B-Men.
Would you trade McLaurin and Dillon for T. 'Higgins? I have the Chase Burrow stack. My flex is Pollard So Dillon and Pollard in the flex with Rashad White. So
What's the trade
would you
again?
trade McLaurin and Dillon for T. Higgins.
McLaurin.
The Chase Burrows.
McLaurin and Dillon for T. Higgins. What do you guys think? McLaurin or Dillon for T. Higgins? McLaurin or Dillon for T. Higgins? I thought it was a rare rock out L. I was wrong. Fire. Someone says you missed my super chat. Hold on, Vamp. Super chat. I'm still going through all the super chats, guys. I didn't miss anybody's, but I may have missed a $20 hauler from somebody. Rock out. Appreciate your $20 hauler. Thank you so much. We've got another $20 hauler from Brad McCormick. Brad, Brofist Brad. Brofist Brad. I think we need to rename you Brofist Brad. This is what we need to rename you. Okay. This is the most recent $20 hauler from Brofist Brad. Brofist says 5 and 4. Josh Allen, Higgins, Pittman, Kobe Myers. I think he means Jacoby. Looks like Kobe Mizers. Kobe Mizers. Good thing I speak Brad, because he says Kobe Mizers. I see Jacoby Myers. CMC Walker, D Foreman, Dulcich, Njoku, Tony, Eno, Wandale, Rashad White, Kyron Williams. What moves should I look to make a playoff push? Smitty to the moon. Thank you, Brofist Brad. Josh Allen, Higgins, Pittman, Jacoby, CMC, Walker, Foreman. Your tight end is Njoku. I don't know what to tell you to do here. I feel like I'm tempted to tell you to do a 2-for-1 or to do a 1-for-2. But I think I let Walker CMC ride for a week. I'm trying to trade Foreman and Higgins for a tiny wide receiver bump, or Foreman and Pittman for a tiny wide receiver bump. Hopefully your trade deadline isn't over after this week. If it is, then I probably would just gently and casually explore a Christian McCaffrey trade. Okay? I don't think I'm going Christian McCaffrey for anybody but like you're getting ETN and a Hopkins, bro. Like it has to be enormous. It has to be you're selling and you're taking someone to the cleaners. Otherwise, I'm not selling them, but I would explore it. In the meantime, I'm trying to trade Foreman and Njoku for Mark Andrews. I'm working on ASAP, maybe even more so. That would be number one objective. Njoku, Foreman for Andrews. Past that, I'm trying to trade Higgins and Foreman to try and upgrade Higgins just a tiny bit. If your trade deadline is not this week, let Higgins, Pittman, and Foreman gain some value so you can then do a better trade next week. Other than that, I think I keep what I have. You can't sell Josh Allen on the high because he's hurt. Did I not answer this question? I'm sorry, Alex. Jaylen Warren, you asked this like 5 hours ago, and I've kept it on the screen. I think he could take over if there's some kind of injury. I don't think he replaces Najee, but could he get like 40-50% of the work and become a running back by committee, vulture? Yeah, he definitely could do that. Do I think he's the starter when Najee goes to the bench? No, but could they swap, and could Jaylen Warren be 60% of the volume? It certainly is possible. So understand that's possible, and he's definitely an amazing hold right now. Braden with the super chat: sell Judy and Pollard for Keenan Allen and Garrett Wilson. It seems like I could go on either side of this. This is almost an uneventful trade. Probably like Garrett Wilson more than I like Judy, and I like Pollard probably the most in the deal, but his value could plummet. I probably lean on the Pollard side just to keep that RB in play, because if Zeke goes down, Zeke comes out. Zeke might not even play a lot this week. We don't really know yet. They're saying he'll play, then you're not sure how much he's going to play, and maybe he gets 50% of the work again. We don't really know, but Pollard's season still potentially could be in the cards. We just don't know. St. Brown and Walker for Goddard and Eckler. I'd rather have St. Brown and Walker over Goddard and Eckler personally, but it's close and arguable. I could understand getting behind either side. I don't think that that's a bad trade on either side. I personally rather have the Walker side. I like your team. Nice job. I think you're going to do well no matter what you choose to do there. To the moon on a $10 hauler. Every $10 hauler gets a moon shot. Hey, Smitty just offered Pierce for Debo and Mostert. I guess if you need a running back, I take it. If you need a wide receiver, I'd take it on that side, depending on your need. Meaning I could go either direction. The rest of your team, though, is Kamara, CMC, Lamb, Godwin, Taysom. I'd rather have the wide receiver if I'm you. With Lamb, Godwin, Taysom, with CMC and Kamara, I'd probably rather have Debo. But I'm still shopping Debo. Oh, you do have Higgins. Okay, you have this prioritized by, you didn't list your best team. You listed your bye week and your week 10 lineup here. Okay. Higgins and Stevenson. What does the chat think? Given his situation. Okay, this guy, I don't know what's the deal with this guy. Always dropping. Penny Feather, you're always dropping some negative stuff, bro. Why is he talking about someone's mom like that? What's he doing? Who's the person causing the problem? Was it Penny Feather or was it the other guy? Because I felt like Penny Feather was saying some harsh words. But maybe it wasn't Penny Feather that was causing the problems. All right, I'm gonna make sure Penny Feather is still able to see. Chavez, what is Chavez saying? It's frustrating when people make me stop my show so that I can. Where are my mods at? What's Chavez saying to everybody? Okay, Chavez, the reason a lot of people want you banned, bro, is because you're pasting over and over and over. There's like 27 messages in a row, bro. Like 100 of them, it looks like. So, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Okay, Penny Feather, I'm sorry. I blocked you for a second because I thought you were causing a problem. I have seen you say some mean things before to people, so please don't be rude to people. But I put you back, bro. Okay, I went ahead and blocked him, but I mean, you shouldn't be blocking for repeating. Is he being mean or is he just being repetitive? Is he being mean? Is Chavez being mean? If so, I'll keep him blocked. But if he's just being repetitive, I can warn him. Yeah, I mean, spam. I usually give someone a big warning, so I don't know if we should let him come in, but need to ban Chavez. Everybody's saying ban him. Okay, well, he's gone for right now. Penny Feather, I'm sorry, but be nicer to people. I've seen you sometimes say things about people's moms and stuff, bro. I've seen it before. So, all right. Everybody be kind to everybody, please, in the chat. Yo, Smitty, just an offered period. Okay, so what do people think about this? What do people think about this? Debo or Pierce? What side do you want to be on? He's been doing it. Okay, well, he's gone for now. What side are we going to be on for this guy right here? Let's do a group think for him. Group think. What are we doing? Yeah, Penny Feather's back. Don't worry. Pierce. There you have it. Recovery. I mean, I kind of lean toward Debo, but you know what? Scratch that. My people are convincing me. I'm worried about Debo enough to where if I'm worried about trading him, then why even do the trade? Pierce is a great running back to have, and your team's balanced enough to where I think it makes sense to do both. Okay, let's go. We gotta get on with the show. Super chats are out of control here. Recovery, appreciate you. Thank you, Thomas, for your $20 hauler. Swift, Sutton, Curtis for Lamar, Gabe Davis, Carter. Give me the Swift side of this trade if you need an RB. If you need a quarterback, I could understand going this route, but I'd probably rather the Swift side of this trade. As long as you're okay, as long as you need a quarterback that badly, I could get behind that Lamar side. But I lean a little bit toward the Swift side. Like if you got Derek Carr, I'd rather have Derek Carr and then have Swift than to get rid of Swift to go get Lamar. A lot of people are selling Lamar pretty cheap, so maybe you should try and get him cheaper. 8-1. This is from Respect. Respect, I know you had super chatted a while ago, and I know you had mentioned it. So here you are. Hurts, Hopkins, A.J. Brown, Goddard, Taylor, Keenan Allen, Fournette. This is a good team. Any changes to make? Look, Hurts, A.J. Brown, Hopkins, Goddard. You can't really get much better than that. I mean, of course, you could get Andrews, who's a risk, but or you could have Kelsey. But past that, Goddard, it's like 3-4 overall tight end material. Taylor, Keenan Allen, Fournette. I'm trying to trade Fournette and Fournette and Fields. Fields is your key here. Go to the weak quarterback owners and try and trade Fournette and Fields for one better running back. Simple. And just rinse and repeat until you get that RB. Easy stuff. Mark S. Trade A.J. Dillon and DJ Moore for Jonathan Taylor. Only if you like winning, Mark. Only if you like winning. If you like winning, go get JT because that's buying seller dweller pricing. And like I said at the top of the show, I'm getting a little excited about JT's return and the potential buy low opportunity. Gino and Lockett for AJB. You have Kyler and Kirk. I take AJB in your situation. Superflex are complicated trades, Superflex trades, but I'd rather have AJB given your situation. So yeah, go do that. Go do it live. G Money with a $10 hauler. G Money. I got the following trade on the table. I give JT. I get Swift, Palmer. Swing that lightsaber, Smitty. Guys, are we wanting JT over Swift right now? I think given the news today that he's practicing and he looked pretty good, G Money, I could trust your gut. I could be wrong. He could go out there and tweak it again on Friday practice. So please trust your gut, but I'm leaning JT. I would love to know what the chat says. JT or are we going JT? We got a JT vote from Sack Attack. Appreciate you. JT says Andres. JT. Hold on, JT. I'll take Swift. We got one Swift vote. We got a majority of JTs. This might be your turnaround, G Money, in that league. This might be your turnaround moment where JT comes back. I hold him. And I ride the season on JT's back. It's time. Hit that thumb up button on your way in the door. 237 of you have punched the thumb up button. 420 of you are watching right now. Please hit the button. Those are rookie numbers. We can pump those numbers up right now. How much bad karma would I get to let a team playing the number one team borrow a player to possibly win? I know I have my W in the bag. That is not good karma. Alton will backfire. That is cheating. Don't do it. You don't want to win that way anyway. Alton, would you really feel good at the end of the day if that's how you won? Don't do it, bro. That's not good. Super chat. To the super chat I moved can be ditch Tony and pick up Warren. Also, without Chase means Higgins' value went up. Sell him before Chase comes back. You'll lose value then. Yeah, Tony. Ditch Tony, pick up Warren. I'd rather have Warren. And then trade Lenny for Olave to that super chat. Trade Lenny for Olave. I'd rather have Olave. You might be able to get more though. Joey, trade Tyreek Hill for Henry. I could go either way on that one. If you need an RB, Henry, the Henry side. If you need a wide receiver, the Hill side. I have Kamara, Mostert at running back. Also have Jefferson, Ayuk, Palmer. So it kind of it almost doesn't matter. I'll probably say Tyreek safer, Derrick Henry's higher upside, higher risk. You got to pick your poison. Joey, I wish I could give you a direct answer on this one. The only thing I can tell you is that it comes down to that risk, high reward. Henry higher upside, higher risk. Tyreek Hill safer. And not even that much less upside. So Hill's a little safer, but Henry would get drafted higher. Let's go to the chat. Chat, can you give Joey your uniform answer, please? Henry or Tyreek Hill, and for his lineup, it wouldn't matter too much. He could use either one. Just kind of shifts the talent a little bit, but the lineup doesn't really change too much. So please vote what you would prefer, and then keep an eye on the chat, Joey. Sergeant, need help with trade ideas 4 and 5. Hurts, Brady, CMC, Kamara, Cordero, Cooper, Olave, Palmer, Everett. Hillside, 1 vote. Hillside, PJ says. Baked In says Hill. Hill. Pretty much Hill straight across the board, Joey. He's safer. And he's got almost the same upside. Trade ideas for this team. I mean, you do need a wide receiver very badly. I'm toying around with Kamara for ETN or Walker if it buys me a St. Brown. Go to the St. Brown owner, see what you can get if they've got an RB that's doable in that trade, or Cordero for like a Hopkins or something like that. You might be able to get a wide receiver. I think you definitely need a wide receiver. I like Cooper and Olave and Palmer as like quiet wide receivers, but I don't know. I feel like you definitely could use a move. The best move would be Kamara for 2 players, but it really has to be like a Palmer, an ETN, a Dameon Pierce, and with a good wide receiver. The further you go down, so if it's Walker, you could get away with a St. Brown. If it's ETN, you could get away with a... You could get away with a St. Brown, I think. And Andrews, see what running back the Andrews owner has. Does he have a Stevenson? Does he have a player you could throw in with Andrews for Kamara? Who's your tight end? Everett? Or scratch all that. You try and trade Freiermuth or Everett for Andrews and give him Ayuk. Give him Palmer. Those would be good moves. That might be... Going and getting Andrews on the bye week would be crafty. Would you trade Alvin for ETN and Jeff Wilson? Probably. I think those are 2 viable running backs, and Jeff Wilson might get you another trade. Got offered Connor, Eno, or Singletary Cook for B-Rob 2023 early 2nd round pick. I don't really care about 2nd rounders, but I guess B-Rob and the 2nd rounder are more attractive in a dynasty. Unless you need Connor, I'd rather have the pick and B-Rob in a dynasty format. I feel like you can get a lot more in a trade too. 1 week tight end. Waiver starts with B. Jordan Disley. Probably Disley. Look for Taysom to get dropped, and I'd rather have Taysom. My Hill for Connor, Gabe Davis, and McLaurin. I'd rather have Hill by a mile. Sick nasty. That's not even close. That's a River Boy video. Send them that video clip. Trade Kupp and Khalil Herbert for Debo and JT. Kupp and Khalil for Debo and JT. If you need a move, this isn't bad. This isn't a bad move. Take JT and Debo if you need a move. If you're winning, things aren't broken. Don't try and fix them. Keep Cooper Kupp. But if you need a move, that is a move worth taking. That's a very, very decent offer. Trade, yeah. Only if you need a move, though. Understand what I'm saying. Mystic Man. Dynasty 12-man looking to go rogue and trade DJ Moore and Stevenson. DJ Moore for Stevenson? Or both of them? Okay, both of them. DJ Moore and Stevenson. Who should I target? DJ Moore and Stevenson could probably get you a ETN, a Walker if you catch them sleeping. A Dalvin Cook if you want to take that risk. ETN and Stevenson. Stevenson and DJ Moore. Stevenson and DJ Moore could maybe get you a Adams, an AJ Brown, a Jamar Chase. I don't know if those are actually worth it. Travis Kelce, maybe. DJ Moore and Stevenson. Chubb, Walker, ETN. Probably not a Henry, but you could try. Probably a Kamara, but I don't even know if you want to do that. Probably. Joe Mixon, if you want to take a gamble that Mixon's going to continue to ball out. Josh Allen, if you want to go rogue. Okay, you already have ETN on your team. You already have Chase on your team. I should have kept reading. Well, all that other stuff still applies. It's a tough one, though, bro, because you're giving up a lot of talent there. So you got to be careful you don't go too low on the ranking list. Like, go down the top level guys, and then at some point you got to cut it off and call it and say, never mind. Standard League, Dak, ETN, Jacob Stevenson, Swift, AJ Brown, St. Brown, 7-2. What can I do to improve? ETN, Jacob Stevenson, Swift, AJ Brown, St. Brown. I'd probably trade Jacobs for a wide receiver and just go from the top down until you get down to about like Waddle and Lamb and just call it. Say I can't go any deeper than that. Debo maybe. Hopkins maybe. Evans potentially, but then that's like it. The top 10 guys. Like, go get a top 10 wide receiver with Jacobs. I'd try and get a 5 to 7 guy if you can. And Jacobs could have got you that weeks ago, so it's a little bit dangerous to sell him now. And you don't even need to make a move, really. I mean, you could rotate those running backs. If you could start all 4 of them, then I guess it doesn't really matter. Maybe holding standing pat's a better idea, but I would definitely shop Jacobs if you can sell high. Like, I'm going after ETN and Walker and guys like that with Jacobs, and I'll throw in a little more to get it done. And people loved Jacobs 2 weeks ago. Maybe they don't anymore, but maybe they do. So it doesn't hurt to ask. East Coast Tatty, 12-team keeper, made my final move to set up for the rest of the season. Riding with Josh Allen, Saquon Pierce, AJB, Amon-Ra, Hopkins, DK, Higgins, Kittle. I'm 9-0. Wow. Very few people are 9-0 right now. I don't get a lot of 9-0 messages. Sometimes people can make it up, but there's not a lot of 9-0 people. I mean, I've got a lot of leagues, and there's maybe one out of like the 12 of them that have a 9-0 team. So congrats on that. Moonshot.
To the moon.
9-0 is rough. That's tough. Pitts or Freiermuth this week. I'm going to go with Pitts if it's me. But I'm a dice rolling fool. $10 holler from Top Gun. Top Gun, appreciate you. $10 holler. Top Gun says, I'm 4-5, 10-man league, lost Hall. My team is Burrow, Mixon, Swift. Okay, need help. Mixon and Swift are great. Mixon's a good sell high right now. If there's ever a time to sell, it's now. Evans, Mike Williams, Cooper. You do kind of need a move. I go to the Andrews owner, see what running back you can get back for Mixon. So Andrews and a running back like Stevenson or something for Mixon. Preferably a Pierce or a Stevenson. I don't know that I'd go much lower than that. Evans is a good wide. Like, I mean, you got a good team. You could probably tough it out. You could probably try and make one small move too, using Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper and Jamal Williams, slight upgrade somewhere. That might get you a Stevenson. You might be able to go get JT and something. Mixon for JT and a wide receiver. Make sure it's a good wide receiver. I would take that chance if it's me. You just better make sure that wide receiver can kind of hold their own against Mixon. Understand what I'm saying, Top Gun? I want you to be able to say, down deep, this wide receiver that I'm getting could maybe by himself give Mixon a run for his money. If you get JT and that player, that's how you make the right 1-for-2 trade. Hero with a $5 holler. My boy Hero. Geno, Adams, Amon-Ra, Jamar, Kenneth Walker, Fournette, Taysom. 7-2. What moves can you make? Amon-Ra, Jamar, Kenneth Walker, Fournette and Geno. Pick up another quarterback. Derek Carr's been getting dropped. I would sell high on Geno if someone's willing to buy him. Like Fournette and Geno for a slightly better player. Look, Jamar, Amon-Ra, Devontae, Kenneth Walker. You could use a Stevenson pretty badly. You could use a Cordero Patterson very badly. I trade Fournette for Pierce. I trade Fournette for Stevenson. I trade Fournette for running backs like that. And if I've got to give up somebody, I just don't want you to do anything to the Amon-Ra, Devontae, Jamar, Kenneth Walker side of the fence. But there's not going to be a lot of moves you can make. Your team's good. I like that you're waiting on Watson. Don't drop Watson. I kind of feel like standing still and just trying to trade Fournette straight up for a player. Like Andrews would be... I know you got an RB problem if you do this, but you got to get an RB if you do this, though. You got to get an RB. How are you going to fill this RB spot? I mean, Fournette for what? I just think you're going to be left to dry anyway with Fournette. Part of me wonders if you took a Hopkins or a Debo or a Waddle or an A.J. Brown for Fournette, yeah, you'd be worried about your Dylan or you have Tony Pollard, right? Dylan or Tony Pollard filling your running back 2 spot, but are you going to be left high and dry anyway for Fournette? Honestly, I'd roll the dice on that. I'd roll the dice and I'd trade Fournette in for a wide receiver you draft well above Fournette and just go rogue at running back 2. Think you missed my super chat. I probably didn't. You're probably just were in a little bit of a wait. Appreciate you, James, and if I haven't gotten to you yet, I'm trying to get to you. Nathan, how much do you believe in Deshaun top 10 still? Yeah, he could be, but I'm not banking on it, but I certainly would pick him up in Superflex and smile if he's still available. Smitty, need to win 4 and 5. Burrow, Fields, ETN, Pierce, Diggs, AJB, Kelsey. I'm assuming you didn't say Superflex, so I'm trading Fields. I know you need him this week. So maybe you make this trade after, unless your trade deadline is passing. If you can get rid of them and pick up somebody like a Danny Dimes or anybody, I'm still looking to trade Fields potentially to help this team out. But you have a really good squad. You don't necessarily need to do anything. But trading like Gus the Bus off of a better week this week if he bounces back and does play. Fields is tradable right now, man. Pierce, ETN, great running backs, but if you could turn Dylan and Fields into like Stevenson or you got Kelsey too. You got a good team. You don't need to do anything. But I would try to do that. If you don't need Fields, I know you need him this week. Or you could trade Burrow if you want. Try and get a Stevenson. Try and get a... with Burrow, you might be able to get Dameon Pierce. With Burrow, you might be able to get CeeDee Lamb or Waddle or Debo or Hopkins or Mike Evans. Or you just keep what you have and you have a good quarterback rotation that's going to protect you if anything happens. No, I didn't miss the super chat. No, I didn't miss your super chat. I'm doing the best I can. As Mom always said, start Rondell Moore or Pittman. Probably Rondell right now. Connor or Elliott. Probably Connor right now, but we need to wait and see. Joshua, 5 and 4, trade Chase for St. Brown and Mike Williams. Or no, Hollywood. Yeah. Chase for St. Brown and Mike Williams. Give me Jamar Chase. I like St. Brown. I buy him low, but give me Jamar Chase. He's going on a bye, and they might be back after the bye week. Need a QB. Burrow has a bye. Who should I get? I think Dalton is starting over Winston. Wilson, Ellinger, Pickett, Brissett, Heineke, P.J. Walker. Those are awful options, man. If you're in Yahoo, Taysom Hill starts at quarterback. I don't know. Heineke, I guess. What's his matchup? I'm blanking out. Washington plays... Monday night. Philly. Oh, it's awful. No, scratch that. I forgot that was their matchup. Wilson. Is Wilson on the road or at home? No, he's on a bye. Wilson's on a bye. Russell Wilson. Where's Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson at Tennessee. Pickett at home versus the Saints. They're banged up. I guess Pickett's safest, and Russell Wilson, if you want to roll the dice, if he's even going to play. I'd say Pickett, and then we just got to monitor Russell Wilson. Those aren't great options, though, that's for sure. Steve B, thank you for the super chat, by the way. Thoughts on Jaylen Warren and Watson rest of season? Christian Watson, give me Jaylen Warren all day long. Watson, I'm not sold on. He's been disappointing. He's very disappointing capable, that guy. Trade thoughts, Mixon, Pitts, Palmer for Andrews and Aaron Jones. Give me Mixon and Pitts side. I love Andrews, but he's banged up, and Aaron Jones is banged up. No, thank you. James says, I missed his super chat again. James, I got you. Respect. Never got my super chat. I got you. Kyler, Eckler, CD. We got another $20. Pleasure. $20 holler. Thank you, kind sir. Dak, JJ, Debo, ETN, Skywalker. Do I stay put or make any moves? JJ, Debo, ETN, Skywalker, Goddard. I'm trading Fournette. I'm tempted to trade Jeff Wilson, although I hold him if I don't sell him high. Foreman, I'm trading. That's what you're doing. You're trying to trade Jeff Wilson and Fournette. Go to somebody that's got one RB and they're down and out, bro. Offer him Fournette and Wilson for that running back. That's where I'd start. Wide receiver wise, I don't think you're upgrading unless you're upgrading Goddard into Kelsey by giving them a Fournette. I'd do that all day long. Same thing with Jeff Wilson and Goddard for that. Fournette and Jeff Wilson for, let's say a team needs running backs and they have a surplus of wide receivers. You might be able to get Hopkins for Jeff Wilson and Fournette, or just Fournette straight up for a Hopkins or a CeeDee Lamb or a Waddle. Just keep trying, rinse and repeat on those. Those are the only moves you need to make. Kyler, Eckler, CD, St. Brown, C-Mac. You got an amazing team. Nothing to do here. Kelsey, come on. Let's see here. How do we like Walker versus the Bucks? Do I start JT and Kyler or Herb? Kyler's banged up, so you got to monitor that. But I would potentially go Kyler if he's healthy and playing. But I like Herbert a little bit this week too. If I had to guess, let's look at the industry rankings on so across the entire fantasy industry, Kyler is the 6th ranked quarterback this week. Or no, I'm sorry. That's wrong. That seemed high. Yeah, he's not. Kyler. Oh no, he still is. He's 6. He's a 6th ranked quarterback. Herbert's 9 to 10. So, yeah, that kind of jives with what I'm saying. If he's healthy, I probably would lean him. His matchup is pretty decently graded. I would say, yeah. And Kenneth Walker, you can't bench Kenneth Walker. You need to contemplate maybe, I don't know who your flex is. Your flex is. That is your flex. Oh, God. Kenneth Walker, JT. I think until we know what JT's doing, you got to start Kenny Walker. You can't sit Kenny Walker. You can't sit him. It's not doable. Not doing it. Can't do it. Thank you, Vamp. Appreciate you. Traded. Vamp reminded me of a super chat. Traded Debo B-Rob for A.J. Brown. Traded Gabe Davis, London, Mike Williams for Adams. Love it. Traded Debo and B-Rob for A.J. Brown. I'm okay with that one. And traded Ertz and Deshaun Watson for Jacobs. I'm okay with that one. Team is now straight fire, bro. Comeback season 3 and 6. I'm betting on this guy. Those are really nice moves that you pulled off there, bro. To the moon on that one.
To the moon.
Excellent job. Excellent navigating your trades, broski. There you go, brother. Name change. Brofist Brad. There you go. Attaboy, Brady. Brofist. Smitty, I think you missed my super chat. James. James, you getting a feel. I got another one from James. You getting a feel for maybe there's a little bit of a wait here. I'm sorry. Trade away Cook, Herbert for Waddle. I'd rather have Dalvin Cook than Waddle, I think, but I'm still shopping him. It depends. If you need a wide receiver, I could get behind the Waddle, but I think Cook's got more value. But I do worry about Cook. I would try and trade him. I just don't know that Waddle's pretty good, but I would try and maybe reach a little higher. But maybe that's the best. If you need a wide receiver and that's the best you can do, I'm okay with the Waddle side too. Fields, have Watson stashed for a bye or Tua rest of season. Probably matchup based, man. I'm not like everybody else right now where I'm locking Fields into the top 5. Fields had a lot of rushing yards. And if he doesn't have that, what's he have? So we have to be careful not to vault him too high, because if he doesn't have a good rushing outing, he's not going to score as many fantasy points or even close. So I think it's matchup based every single week between those guys. But you have 2 really good, solid matchup based quarterbacks. It's going to be great for you if you call it right each week. But it should be clear, somewhat clear each week. But you might have a week or 2 where they're both equal and you pick the wrong one. But I think Tua's got more weapons, so I'm going to roll with Tua when things are even or equal. Appreciate you, Oh No, for dropping the super chat. I don't know if you asked a question anywhere. I'll try and keep an eye out for your question. I'll put you here and remember to go searching. Podcast says Olave for Foreman and Singletary. Give me Olave all day long. Olave is the best buy low right now at wide receiver. Traded Connor for Keenan Allen. I like Connor more. I think that was good. Connor's at least got touchdown upside. Donnie with a $5 hauler. Donnie says, make any moves? Herbert, Chubb, Swift, Mike Evans, Gabe Davis, Kelsey. Very good squad. Foreman and Thielen for one player. Garrett Wilson and Foreman. Evans and Foreman for a slight running back upgrade. Swift and Foreman for a slight running back upgrade. ETN, Kenneth Walker as examples. Nick Chubb as an example, which you probably won't get. Swift isn't there yet. Swift for JT. You could go crazy. You give me your risky player, I'll give you mine. Daniel, what was the trade you did? Daniel, what is Daniel asking? Someone just offer me a trade. I'll be getting Saquon, Tom Brady, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I will be giving them Fournette. I'll be getting Saquon, Tom Brady, and Amon-Ra. I'll be giving Fournette and Tua. Oh, and DeAndre Hopkins. You keep putting periods in there, so it's like I thought we were done. So Fournette and Hopkins for St. Brown and Barkley. I like the St. Brown and Barkley side. Nice job, broski. This team's tough. I mean, to navigate or move anything. Swift, I would just maybe trade Swift away. Swift and Foreman. Swift and Garrett Wilson. Try and get a little bit of an upgrade at running back, or you need an RB. If you trade him away, you need an RB. Foreman might need to gain some value. Hopefully your trade deadline isn't here and you can make a trade next week, because if Foreman has a good game, you can maybe sell him higher. If Garrett Wilson continues to do well, you could sell Fournette and Garrett Wilson together. But I think Swift, I'd rather have JT over Swift, I think, at this point, at this moment in time. If that cost me a Garrett Wilson or a Foreman, I'd probably do it, or a Thielen, preferably a Thielen. I'd probably hold on to Foreman if I can. I think his value could go up next week. Hopefully it goes up. I'd rather have JT over Swift right now. It changes week to week, to be honest. 5 and 4, full PPR, Geno, Pierce, Stevenson, Kupp, Chase, Andrews, Patterson. Any moves? No, probably not. I'd probably hold this squad, bro. It's really good. Other than maybe trying to trade like... I don't think I'm moving anything. I mean, do I try and get a better quarterback than Geno? Absolutely. But he isn't that bad. And what can you trade anyway? You know, I don't know that I want you trading anything away. Judy's not going to get you some kind of sell. And I don't really want you moving anybody else. I kind of like everybody you have. Like, usually I find a player that I want to trade away, but I think that's a pretty good squad. I think I let that ride, and then maybe if the trade deadline's here, so be it. Fournette and Kirk for Stevenson. Take Stevenson and run. Anthony, 7-2. My team is Hurts, JJ, Godwin, Mixon, Swift, Najee, Rondell. My bench is Sutton, Dak. Pretty good team. Try move Fields. Yes, I try move Fields. I try and move Fields and Godwin for a top 7 wide receiver. I try and move Najee and Godwin for I'd probably, because you have the running back support for this, I'd probably go across position. Najee and Godwin for, probably go after like do you have Chase already? Jamar Chase, you're 7-2. I'm using Najee and try to hold Godwin. Try Sutton and then work your way up. Najee and Fields if he needs a quarterback for Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is your answer. Go to the Jamar Chase owner. You can wait on him. Your tight end is who? Andrews. Andrews and Jamar Chase are your targets, using Najee, using Fields, and using Sutton. Very easy for me. Rinse and repeat, making offers. Just keep doing it. Pierce, Duvernay for JT Higgins. I take JT and Higgins, and that's hard for me to say because I love Pierce. But the fact that you're getting Higgins too, I think I'd probably do that trade. If you need a move, if you're winning, don't make a trade. Start 1. Palmer, Foreman, Pollard, or Connor. Give me Palmer if it's PPR. Give me Pollard if it's not. Thank you for the super chat. Ayuk versus LA or Palmer versus San Francisco. Give me Palmer. Algier or Mostert, give me Mostert. That's a tough one. They're both sharing carries. I just hope you get a touchdown. They score a lot of I could see like Wilson and Mostert both scoring, so I'm going to go Mostert, but that's a tough one. Who would you start, Godwin, Harmon, or Mooney? I'd go Godwin, as long as he's healthy and on the field. Jolo with the $20 super chat. Mark with the $21 super chat. Thank you, broskies. Let's start with Jojo. I call him Jolo. Jojo, 7-2. Any changes? Hurts, ETN, C. Patterson, St. Brown, Waddle, Kelsey, Sanders, Lamb. It's a really good team. I don't know. As much as I love the idea of upgrading, you've got great depth. And Sanders and Lamb are both in your lineup. So if I'm not upgrading Sanders using, let's say, Like Sanders and Lamb for like a top 5 wide receiver, or Sanders and Lamb for like Kenneth Walker, ETN. You already have ETN. Kenneth Walker or Kupp, or like, JJ or Diggs or something, then I'm probably going to hang on to Sanders and Lamb and ride that out. Sanders, I don't mind upgrading if at all possible. So try for those types of moves. Otherwise, I kind of like your depth, and I kind of roll with this team. This is a really nice, well-rounded, deep team. Like you may. I mean, you got a couple big guns too. I mean, like Kelsey's a big gun, bro. ETN's a big monster. Hurts is a monster. Very solid. I think I stand still, but I toy around with Sanders and Lamb for a top 5 player at each position, or at the wide receiver and running back position. That's it. Sanders and Lamb. It needs to be a top 5 guy. It needs to be JJ, someone sleeping at the wheel, looking at Sanders and Lamb and saying, yeah, I'll take it. These things happen all the time. Don't think you can't make those offers. Nick Chubb. It seems like the person's giving too much, but they'll maybe do it, bro. Chubb, Walker, Henry, Eckler, ETN, maybe even Kamara with the risk. And the risk doesn't seem great right now, but it could change with the release of another video. Adams, Tyreek Hill, Diggs, obviously Cupper, Jefferson. Then it probably like cuts off there to where I don't recommend you do anything. Thank you for the super chat, my guy. To the moon.
To the moon.
Next super chat, $21 hauler from Anthony, 6-3. Keep my team and try and make one last trade. Brady, Watson. I assume it's it's not super flex, I assume. So Brady's your quarterback. Watson could eventually be. Derrick Henry, Barkley, Stevenson, fire running backs. Jeff Wilson. Hopkins, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, Davis, Waller. The only thing I'm trying to do, if I'm you, is try and trade Jeff Wilson and like Waller into Andrews, or Schultz and Jeff Wilson into Andrews, or trying to get JT tricking somebody into some kind of like Waller and Jeff Wilson deal, because people are freaking out. Past that, bro, I'm not touching this squad. You're ready to ball. You got the depth to help you if you hit injury. Hopkins and CeeDee Lamb and A.J. Brown are absolute fire. Gabe Davis waiting in the wings if he needs to be called upon. Waller, Schultz, you get something out of that. Don't cut Waller. Love that team. I like how my $20 haulers are always 6-3 or 7-1, and they have like baller teams. Or 7-2. Trade DK and Taysom for Duvernay and for Andrews. DK, Taysom, Duvernay for Andrews. I could go either way. If you need wide receivers, DK's good enough to say I'd rather keep DK. But if you're loaded at wide receiver and you don't have a great tight end, this is also a good move. Smitty approved both sides of this trade. Anthony, my tight end was Goddard. Okay. Anthony, appreciate your super chat. Chat, does he only read super chats? No, Kevin, but when we've got a surplus of them, I have no choice but to go through them. Trade Burrow, Chase for Jimmy G and CMC. Burrow and Chase for Jimmy G and CMC. If you have a good record and you can wait on Burrow and Chase, and Jimmy G would have been your starter, I'd rather have, on the other side, I'd rather have the Burrow and Chase side if you can wait on it. If you can't wait on it, I'd probably take Jimmy G and CMC, and I'd do my darndest to get a better quarterback than Jimmy G. The CMC side is pretty. They both have pros and cons, and you have risk involved in Jamar Chase, just so you know. I mean, you know that, but Trey Burrow. Okay, that is all she wrote for today, guys. I would continue to do phone calls and such, but Olave also missed a game. Appreciate everybody. Thank you for calling in. I'm out of here. I'm live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern every single Monday through Friday. I'm live whenever news breaks. I'm live Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at midnight. I'm live Sunday morning. I'm live Sunday afternoon after the games. I'm live all the time. Should I trade Diggs and Schultz for Amon-Ra, Andrews, Godwin, and Dulcich? Diggs and Schultz for Amon-Ra Andrews. I would probably rather have the Diggs side, as much as I really love the idea of St. Brown bouncing back. And Andrews is injured, so I'd take the Diggs side. Soto says, "Don't lie, bro. You only reply to people who pay. It's all good. Just keeping it real." Well, clearly not. Clearly, you're just proven wrong. JJD Hop, Terry, Kadarius Toney. I'm not sure what that's for. Mostly Pittman or Olave all the way, bro. Olave all the way. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Appreciate you. I love that. Ow, my elbow. I love that people complain, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not keeping it real. You're complaining. I literally do a phone call show, bro. I do a news show. I do a phone call. I allow people to get on the voicemail line. I open up the phone lines. I mix. Instead of just answering super chats for 1 hour, like Grandpa always said, you could please all the people some of the time, some of the people all the time, but you can never please all the people all the time, which is true. And I don't mind. I have thick skin. It doesn't even bother me. Sometimes I just rant to rant. But it's like most people would do a super chat show that get the amount of super chats that we get, right? And just when they're done, they leave. I go extended. I do the call-in shows. I try and mix it up the best I can. And, it is what it is. And then Soto, I can't please you all the time, Soto. I'm sorry. All right, I'm out of here. Appreciate you. Catch you later. We got these spam people in here. What are you doing? Get out of here. Stormcat, appreciate you. Top Gun, Swift Evans for St. Brown and Stevenson. Give me Swift and Evans, I suppose. I'm rolling the dice a little bit on that one. Yeah. What do we think? Chat, can you vote on that one for me real quick? That's a tough one. Let me put it back up. That's a tough one because, I believe St. Brown's going to rebound. Swift is not a guarantee. Maybe Stevenson, St. Brown. I might lean Stevenson, St. Brown. That's so tough. Swift and Evans feel like they're better. They feel like they're better, but I feel like maybe... Is Swift going to jump back? Is Swift going to jump back or not? $21 hauler. I already got the $21 hauler. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Gary. St. Brown and Stevenson, in my opinion, says Penny Feather. St. Brown and Stevenson says Travis. Yeah, I'm going to say that too. As much as I want to say Swift, we don't know what Swift is. I have a better feeling that St. Brown bounces back before Swift. Super Chat says, "Sir, first priority, got to pay the bills," says Stormcat. I mean, it is what it is. I got to answer the Super Chats, and if I run out of time, I run out of time. But I've done 5-hour lives before during this 1 to 2 hour show to make sure everybody's taken care of. And then Soder comes in, Soder Bear, or whatever his name is, comes in. I appreciate you, Soder. I'm not mad at you. Nobody give him hate in the chat. I'm not trying to cause any trouble with him. But it's like, Soder, I think you haven't watched for very long. If you truly believe I'm not a man of the people and I don't go out of my way to try and do the best I can, I can't help you, Soder Bear. Okay? Aaron Jones for Rashad White and Pickens. Aaron Jones for me. I'd take the gamble that he bounces back or gets healthy. All right. I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. Peace out. I'll be live tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, or if news breaks. I have a feeling news is going to break tomorrow, so you could probably see me at some point before. We also got to do the Panic Chamber tomorrow. Appreciate you all.
Kenneth Skywalker.
Kenneth Lightsaber Swinging Skywalker.